Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome to PSR TV for the ISR SSCA March on Michigan 300 tournament going on now. Top split you're going to be seeing here this afternoon. We're going to check in with the other splits as well going on. These drivers have been practicing all week long, and they have qualified for this afternoon's race, and we are getting ready for some fantastic Truck Series action at Michigan on the iRacing service. Tim Terry, Sean Cole here to call all the action for you. Darren Ganji will also be here doing a little bit of roving reporting in the other splits of this event. And Sean, this is really exciting. These guys racing for not only a lot of exposure here, but for surprises as well.
Absolutely, Tim. A lot on the line today. And first off, thank you for being here. I'm real excited. And like you said, these guys have been practicing all week. We've had practice races, practice sessions going on for quite some time building up to this event. And 300 miles, and like you said, a lot at stake. We have a great prize list today. And but the main point of today's event really is about fun. This is getting a different group of people out there, giving them a different opportunity to shine. And like you said, we'll be covering the main split here, but we'll be reporting multiple splits because we do have a lot of different racing going on today.
And we are getting ready to go green in our split that we are covering, and it's a who's who of oval racers throughout the service. We're not just talking about the black stripes, the NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship drivers. We do have the champ here this afternoon. Ray Alfalla is here. We have Jeff Conover, who is a standout in late models. If you've ever seen him race a late model on this service, he can wheel a late model race car. You're going to see him wheeling the truck here this afternoon. Byron Daley is here from the NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship. Of course, coming up a little bit later on this afternoon, we have the World Championship Grand Prix Series. Simon Crochart is here to do a little bit of oval racing. There's no right turns here. I'm sure he'll do just fine. We have Brian Tedeschi, Tanner Stoops, Landon Castle qualifying challenge winner Kenny Humpy is here as well to do some battling on the racetrack. Barry Brooks is here. He's a name synonymous with late model racing on the iRacing service, and also GSRacing.net Truck Series chase competitor from last season, Andrew Berger, is here in the top split as well. So a who's who of racing, and just like the race we had last week, we could very well see somebody shock the field as these drivers are getting ready to grid on the racetrack. Let's go down our qualifying grid, and on the pole I'm showing the 16 of Simon Crochart. To the outside, the champ, the 2, Ray Alfalla.
Yeah, as the field gets ready to grid, and like I mentioned, this event is all about fun, and one thing that I love about this is you have some of your regular, like you called them, black stripe drivers, as well as some guys who you might not know their names, but they're getting an opportunity to race against some of the best drivers in all of iRacing, which makes it even more fun for a guy like me. I wish I could be out there on the track myself, actually.
Yeah, this would be a fun race, especially with these trucks at Michigan. Just a fun combination. If you haven't been on the iRacing service yet, Michigan Trucks is an awesome little combination to get some great racing done. And we're going to see 2 and 3 wide racing here. As I mentioned, Simon Crochart, Ray Alfalla. Front row, Nick Maynard and Alex Chambrone comprises row number 2. Those 2 drivers should be ones to watch here this evening.
Yeah, definitely. We got some of the biggest names, of course, have worked their way to the front. You know, we did an open qualifying where everybody had an opportunity to be in this top split, and it just came down to qualifying times once you were into that upper echelon of see-through pro drivers.
Starting in position number 5, Tanner Stoops, Kenny Humpy in 6th. We're going to quickly roll through this. Alex Bison, Byron Daley, Alan Gray, Cody Burke, Austin Osborne, J.B. Masita, Lee Queen, Andrew Berger, Bobby Terrell, Christopher Miller, Eric Burke, Brandon Bowie, one driver to watch. Going to start mid-pack here. Will Bell, another one that's synonymous with the iRacing service on the oval side. Aaron Kleinhans, Glenn Seidman, Terry Schmidt, Braden Whitaker. He likes these super speedways. He'll be one to watch from position number 23 in the 04. Cannaville Innes. We have C. Thomas Morris Jr., Riley Wyans, Steve Gottschalk. We have Matthew Close, Kevin Moody, Dennis Razumov, Jeff Conover, Ryan Norton, Paul Williams, Barry Brooks, Patrick Davis, Jonathan Berthier, Nick Leap, Aaron Hutchinson, Brian Tedeschi, Nick Zonter, Kevin Parrish, Morgan Schooley, and Todd Levesque. 43 drivers comprise this race. It's 300 miles. It's 150 laps. I think we're going to see some green flag racing here. These drivers have been practicing all week. They know what to expect. Sean, I can't wait. Bring us to green.
I'm with you here, and like you said, we have a very, very full grid, 2 capacity grid here as they come out of Turn 4, getting ready to start this race. And like you said, this is going to be very exciting. This is a fixed setup race. Everybody is working with the exact same truck, and we are ready for the green. Pace car is off the track, and we are underway. Simon Crozier takes him out, and we are green flag.
It looked like Byron Daley right on the start wanted to make it 3 wide. He's going to go to the inside, 91. Looking at position number 4 already on the 01 of Alex Chambrone. Daley, he's no stranger to making it 3 wide. He's done it in the GSRacing.net Truck Series. He's done it in the NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship. Watch the 91 this afternoon.
Alfalla comes to the inside of Crozier, looking into turn 3. He is down low, and he's got some momentum going through. He is pulled into the lead. Crozier is kind of hung out wide, and we have the 11 car of Nicholas Maynard to the inside now for second position.
Nick Maynard looking for position number 2. Simon Crozier stuck to the outside. Byron Daley just behind the battle, as well as Alex Chambrone. Side by side for second and side by side for 4th right now, and it looks like a battle for 6th starting to brew up as well, side by side between Cody Burke and Tanner Stoops, I believe that is, on the outside line.
And what you can already see playing out is the great racing that Michigan lends to these drivers, with multiple drivers taking different lines. Kenny Humpy, I see, is already having a little trouble at the back of the field. Not sure what happened to him, but he's a ways off the back of the pack right now.
He may have started from pit road. I will have to double check on that one, Sean, but that might not be a bad idea with the big pack like this. If something happens, it's more than likely going to happen really, really quickly and sweep up a bunch of trucks. With the super speedway type racing that we're seeing here, obviously you're not full throttle all the way around the racetrack, but you're so close to your other competitors that if you make one mistake, something's likely going to happen and likely take out a few of your friends with it.
Absolutely, and one thing we saw a lot of in practice was guys having trouble with that right front tire, and protecting that tire could be very critical, especially if we see some green flag racing.
Here comes Byron Daley to the inside of Nick Maynard. Working on position number 2 is car number 91, the MattDRacing.com Chevrolet Silverado, looking to the inside line. Going to try to take position number 2 here. I believe he has it, and now he sets his sights on the champ, Ray Alfalla, for the lead.
Yeah, great pass there through 1-2, and he just held that low line and came out with a nice amount of speed, because sometimes you can get down low and it looks like you're strong, but those guys come around the outside. That was a great pass.
Maynard still trying to keep up with him in position number 3, Chambrone and Cody Burke. Complete your top 5 at this point. We will complete 4 laps here as Simon Crozier nearly lost control of that race truck at a corner number 4. Looks a little bit loose for driver 16.
Yeah, that was a scary moment for him for sure, and you know, sometimes a little too much throttle and that car will step out, especially in the earlier laps.
Single file racing up in front, and that might be status quo for at least the first run here, Sean. A lot of these drivers know it's 150 laps, usually on the service. I believe the regular official races are 65 laps, so you're looking at over 2 times the length in this race. These drivers know that they can't win it. On lap number 4, Chambrone going to try to take position number 3 here to the inside of Nick Maynard as they go side by side. It's a long race. They know that they have to be there at the end in order to have a chance to win the race and possibly win a prize or 2.
Well, one thing they have to do to win a prize is run clean. So if you bring out that caution flag today, then you are ineligible regardless of your finish. So keeping it clean and having fun was what this event is all about. And when you see them this many laps in with green flag racing, it's looking like it's working out just as planned.
I mentioned off top of the show that there might be some drivers here like the Intel GT series that we saw last week trying to make a name for themselves, trying to get out there and get their name seen and heard on PSR TV. How about Cody Burke in the number 20 right now, running in position number 5? A lot of these drivers have raced many laps on the iRacing service. Cody Burke is one of those names I'm not really familiar with, Sean, but right now running in position number 5, and hanging with guys like Alex Chambrone and Simon Crochart, and he has Ray Alfalla about 8 truck lengths ahead of him.
Yeah, like I said, we brought a lot of different types of drivers together, and you know, one thing about oval racing is respect will get you a long way. So you take an event like this and make a good showing, and next time you're out there with the big guys, they're going to know your name. So great day and great run so far by Cody Burke.
Just behind him, around position number 7, it looks like we have a double wide pass for position. Alan Gray looks to the inside of the number 23 truck. 10 looking to pick up the spot. I believe he's going to have it here. Slides right up in front of the number 23. 23 going to try the crossover move on the inside. Not going to get there. Just behind that battle, Tanner Stoops looks on from position number 9.
Another great pass. You can see they're just inches away from each other there. And one thing about these trucks is you come off that corner and on that inside line you do lose a lot of speed. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of crisscross passing coming down the backstretch as this race goes on. Another thing you're going to see a lot of is variation in lap times as that right front tire that I mentioned, as they start having trouble with that tire, you're going to see some guys really fall off the pace, and we speculated as to what Kenny Humpy's doing there at the back of the grid, and it might be protecting tires. You might see him marching forward, having just kind of saved his rubber so far through this race, and it does happen fast. So we are just at the beginning laps of this race, but you're already going to see some guys who have worked that tire too hard.
Leader Ray Alfalla has some company up in front of the field. He has Byron Daley just behind him, and it looks like Alex Chambrone has closed in as well. Not really a surprise. Chambrone raced the last half of the GSRacing.net Truck Series last season and really came on strong and has really matured as a driver on the iRacing server. So Alex Chambrone running in position number 3 right now, looking over Byron Daley for position number 2, and he's got that leader just in front of him.
He is looking very strong right now. You can see he is definitely staying all over the bumper of Daley, and Alfalla is just right there. So tight battle for this top 3, and that's sort of allowing Maynard to pull up into 4th position in the 11 truck as well.
Nick Maynard looking to make a name for himself here as well in position number 4 as he has the top 3 just in front of him. It looks like we have a little bit of a breakaway up in front with about your top 7 drivers. About a second between 7th and 8th right now, Alan Gray and Tanner Stoops.
Yeah, things are definitely getting strung out a little bit as we are 11 laps underway of this 150-lap race at Michigan. And this top 7, you're right, they are kind of breaking away a little bit. Ray Alfalla is leading the way and looking very strong, but he can't shake these guys, that's for sure.
And I think Byron Daley, Alex Chambrone, Nick Maynard, they may be just saving something right now for Ray Alfalla. We mentioned the length of this race. We are working lap number 11. 11 comes to a close here of 150, so we're about 1/15 of the way through this race. They have a lot of time to move and a lot of time to work around this racetrack, work with a little bit of the draft, and figure out how each other is going to race. Obviously, on the iRacing service, a lot of these drivers see each other in the C Open and C Fixed races, so they know how each other is going to race. But in a big race scenario like this, it might come down to something a little bit different. Here comes Nick Maynard on the 0-1, and he threw it into corner number 3.
Yeah, and as a result, you can see him kind of pushing wide coming out of 4, and that's allowing Cody Burke to look to the inside of him.
He may have had to check up a little bit. He had Chambrone in front of him. He threw that truck in there and realized, I really don't want to wreck him at this stage of the event. Backs off a little bit. We talked about clean racing, and that's one of the things that we saw there with Nick Maynard, falling back a little bit, but he's going to lose a few positions. Keep in mind, though, we're only working lap number 13. Still a long ways to get back up to the front.
Sure is, and one thing about these trucks is they do carry a lot of momentum, and if you get loose, you lose a lot of that momentum, and you can see it's going to cycle him back all the way back to that 7th position, the end of that front group.
And he's going to battle with Alan Gray side by side for position at number 6 and 7 right now, and Nick Maynard takes the spot for the time being. Ray Alfalla continues to lead up in front, being chased by Byron Daley and Alex Chambrone. And now with that little bit of a misstep by Nick Maynard, there's a little bit of a separation between 3rd and 4th. It's Cody Burke running in 4th with Simon Crochart in 5th.
Yeah, you can see they've opened up about a 3-4 truck length distance, and you know, it doesn't seem like a lot of space on one hand, but the way they've been running, that is a big gap, so it gives Alex Chambrone a little breathing room. He doesn't have to look in his rearview mirror so much, that's for sure.
And looking back through the pack right now, there's not a whole lot of side-by-side racing. I believe it's Riley Wyans in the number 77 is side-by-side back here for a spot with the 45 of Jonathan Berthier. That's back in position number 24 right now. And Brian Tedeschi is back there as well, going side-by-side with the 66 truck, I believe that is, of Denis Razumov. So a little bit of side-by-side racing about mid-pack here, but the guys up in front content to ride single file.
One guy I want to look at real quick is Tanner Stoops in the 8th position, the number 68 truck. He's kind of in no man's land. He's got a little bit of a gap between him and Alan Gray up ahead, but he so far has been able to shake off the 23 truck of Alex Bison.
And Tanner, one of those drivers that knows a thing or two about setups. Obviously, as we mentioned off the top of the show, Sean, they are running fixed setups in this race, but Tanner Stoops is one of those super speedway specialists, knows how to build a lot of setups, and does a lot of the setup work for MC Racing. You see them with Brian Blackford and Byron Daley on Tuesday nights for the NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship. A lot of those front-running cars, a little bit of help from Tanner Stoops, who currently drives the number 68 truck here this afternoon. Passer position, Nick Maynard going to fall one back to the Alan Gray machine. Alan Gray moves to 10 to position number 6.
Probably a good time to get through the grid real quick, catch you up to things as we are about 17 laps underway. We have Ray Alfalla out in front, Byron Daley in 2nd, Alex Chambrone in 3rd, Cody Burke in 4th, Simon Crowshirt in 5th, Alan Gray in 6th, Nicholas Maynard in 7th, Tanner Stoops in 8th, Alex Bison in 9th, JB Masada in 10th, Andrew Berger in 11th, Eric Burke in 12th, Brandon Bowie in 13th, Bobby Terrell in 14th, Will Bell in 15th. In 16th place we have Lee Queen, 17th place is Aaron Kleinhans, 18th place Christopher Miller, 19th place Perry Schmidt, and in 20th is Matthew Close.
And looking back to the second half of the field right now, you have Ryan Norton in position number 21, Braden Whitaker position 22, Jonathan Berthier 23, Brian Tedeschi, Riley Wyans position 25th right now, and these are where the guys are really switching positions right now. Kevin Parrish, Denis Razumov in 27, as it looked like one of those drivers back there nearly hit the wall. I believe it may have been Brian Tedeschi back there, very close to the wall as these guys are racing very tightly in this pack. Paul Williams, 28th, Nick Zonter, 29th, Morgan Stooley, position number 30, Kenneville Innes is position 31, Austin Osborne, Kevin Moody, Steve Gottschalk, Glenn Seidman, Aaron Hutchinson, Thomas Morris Jr., Nick Leap, Todd Levesque, Patrick Davis, Kenny Humphrey, Barry Brooks, and Jeff Conover brings up the field of 43 who are currently running here on lap number 19. Everybody still on the racetrack. We have yet to have a caution flag, and I probably just jinxed it with the way these guys are racing back here around about P20 or so, as these guys are getting at it back here.
Yeah, a little more dicey at the back of the grid. And speaking of the back of the grid, Kenny Humphrey, who we believe just started from pit lane, he is back and caught up to the back of the field at least, and making a pass right now for 40th place. And he's, you know, despite that, he's only 12 seconds back of the leader. So with the speeds these are going, if we stay green and he saved his tires, I would expect to see him move up quite a bit if that was his game plan.
He'll be getting a caution flag, I'm sure, throughout this race. Three wide racing around Brian Tedeschi in the 46, and it's just behind Tedeschi, Kevin Parrish in the 69, Braden Whitaker in the 04, Christopher Miller 3. That's around position number 23. The 25 truck is up high. We got one pointed the wrong direction. That will bring out the caution. It's Bobby Terrell pointed the wrong way in the 14.
Wow, tough break there for Bobby Terrell. Not sure what quite happened. I don't see anybody else spun out around with him, but it's lap 20, and we are our first caution of the event.
And when we get the replay keyed up here, it's going to be the number 15 and the number 14 having a little contact to bring out that caution flag. The 15 is Will Bell. 14, as we mentioned, is Bobby Terrell. And close racing between those two drivers, Sean, as the 14 gets a little bit of damage to the back end of that race truck. He's lucky nobody else hit him. Everybody has to scurry to get away from that 14, but the second hit on the wall may have hurt more than the first hit on the safer barrier, as he once he hits the wall, he essentially rides it down the back straightaway, and it's going to hurt the rear end of that racetrack.
Yeah, that car is definitely, that truck is definitely not looking like it's going to be in contention for the win anymore, that's for sure.
So the first caution flag flies here on lap number 21. Your leader is Ray Alfalla. Byron Daley in second, Alex Chambrone third, Cody Burke and Simon Crochard, your top 5. It's 20 laps in. We expect these drivers onto pit road for at least a splash of gas, and here they come. Alfalla, Daley, and Chambrone coming to the attention of their crews, and they're bringing a whole lot of friends with them.
And speaking of caution, I just got word from Darren Ganji regarding the second split, and they actually have already had 2 cautions. They're currently running under caution, and Michael Duell is actually leading the way, so he's out front right now, but they are also running around under the pace car.
Alfalla comes to pit road, stops in his box. Is he going to take tires at all? He's going to take right side tires on the number 2, the NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship champion. 4 tires on the number 2, and he's going to lose the race off pit road, going to lose that lead that he had. Byron Daley going to beat him off pit road, but Christopher Miller 3 is the first driver off pit road in car number 25. I would assume he probably took 2 tires on the number 25, or maybe fuel only.
Yeah, he picked up a lot of spots there on pace. I see a car and see a little smoke out on track. Sorry about that. Picked up a lot of spots there on pit lane.
And the reason why he picked up so many spots in pit lane, Sean, he missed his box. He didn't stop on pit road. He kept going by. He's going to have to come back in if he wants service on that racetrack. So Byron Daley is going to be out in front of the drivers that did take service on their race trucks, and 4 fresh tires for the number 91 of Byron Daley.
Now I'm looking at the car that is right here. Christopher Miller actually spun it, but was able to get it back underway, and he is the car right there behind the pace car right now. So very interesting pit sit for Christopher Miller.
And adds a little insult to injury as he missed his box the first time he came down pit road. Let's see if he can find it this time. He's going to come down to the attention of his crew this time, and it's an empty pit road, so I believe he may be able to find it here just a little bit easier. So Christopher Miller 3 going to head down and get some service on his race truck. Scoring loops right here. Your leader is Byron Daley in the number 91. Ray Alfalla runs in second. Chambrone third. Burke and Maynard, your top 5. We are going to double up behind the first racing Ford Mustang pace car, so we'll be going green next time by.
So before we go green, I just got a quick question there for you, Tim. You know a lot of these guys, a lot of the pro drivers at least. How does going to a fixed setup work out for them? Are most of these guys adaptable to it, or is that kind of a tough thing when they're used to running such great setups up where they run?
When you're looking at Ray Alfalla, and I know Byron Daley for sure, Byron enjoys these fixed races. A lot of these drivers you'll see racing in the B fixed and the C fixed on the iRacing service, either the nationwide car or this truck in C fixed. They like to go back, have a little bit of fun, and let their hair down, so to speak. I know Byron Daley absolutely loves racing these sort of races. Tanner Stoops, a lot of these guys just wanting to have a little bit of fun on the off day, or the off week, I guess you can call it, sometimes with that NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship. I know Ray loves racing these setups as well, so those guys, they adapt fairly well. Obviously, it's a little bit different than what they do on Tuesday nights because they put so much work into those setups, but with these racers on the racetrack right now, they love to let their hair down a little bit, and especially in a big race like this, they love to have a little bit of fun, and I think Byron Daley and Ray Alfalla are doing just that right now. The first racing Ford Mustang pace car getting ready to head to the safety of the infield. Byron Daley going to lead the field to green, and we are back underway. 91, great start at the front of the field. Alfalla in the 2, going to tuck in right behind here as they're side by side for third.
Great jump by Byron Daley as he heads out into turn 1. Good lead over Ray Alfalla, and looking back into 3-4, we have cars side by side between Cody Burke and Alex Chambrone.
Chambrone going to try to take back position number 3 that he held on that green flag run. Ray Alfalla going to try to take the lead back that he held on that green flag run. On the inside goes the 2. Ray Alfalla going to go to the lead position here. Byron Daley going to fight on the outside line, but I think Ray's going to have it here. Alfalla back to the lead.
Very strong move by Ray, and you can see that he can just hold that car, that truck down low real well. He didn't get loose at all, and he's doing a good job of keeping up that speed and should hold position here.
He's going to open the door for Alex Chambrone. Chambrone going to try to make the position number 2 work. No, he's going to fall back behind the number 91 of Byron Daley, and this is how the top 3 ran prior to the caution flag. 2:91.01 top 3.
And you can see it's right back to single file racing up at the front of the grid right now, and that's going to get the job done for them and maybe get them back to that kind of gap they had over the rest of the group. And looking back in the field, I see guys 2 and 3 abreast all the way to the back of the grid.
Perfect opportunity to gain some positions, especially on these restarts where everybody is so bunched up together. First side-by-side battle that I'm seeing is Eric Burke in the number 17. He's on the inside of Alex Bison in the number 23. They go side by side as the inside truck there nearly had a moment. Eric Burke has the 37 tucked up behind him. JB Masita trying to give him a little bit of encouragement. Maybe the 17 doing a little bit of rear view mirror driving as well.
Absolutely, and JB's going to have to look out, though. He gets loose like that, and he'll be right into the rear end of that truck. Things happen very quick at these speeds, and you see the team truck coming down low to Masita as well. So two cars running side by side right there as we cross the start-finish line.
And that 15 is Will Bell. That was the driver that was involved in the first yellow flag of the afternoon as he's trying to work back to the front of the field as he works underneath the number 23 truck for position, or tries to at least give the 17 a little bit of encouragement to get going. I want an extra position as well, as the 23 and 17 go side by side for position number 11.
And Will Bell in that 15 comes low, and gotta love that paint job, kind of very Easterish colors there on that 15 truck by Will Bell as he takes that position away from Alex Bison.
Number 9 truck coming into the picture as well. That's Lee Queen. 3 wide behind them, though. Here comes Brian Tedeschi on the inside line, trying to get a 2-for-1 special there as he tries to get 2 spots. Lee Queen going to pull out of the way as everybody finds a place to race down the back straightaway.
Looks like Lee Queen got real loose coming out of that corner and lost a whole bunch of speed, and luckily he didn't get too loose and shoot up into the wall because he had cars everywhere around him there.
Battle near the front of the pack. Alan Gray trying to make a move, and just in front of them it looks like we have a battle going on for the lead. Look at this, the 91 of Byron Daley, the 01 of Alex Chambrone for the lead. Simon Crochart, Ray Alfalla side by side. As we were looking back there, Sean, I didn't see this battle for the lead coming up. It's going to be Alex Chambrone to the front, little block going on. Byron Daley always told me rule number 1 is you block, you pay. I'm not sure how good that's going to work here on lap 29.
And there's definitely some blocking going on, and you wouldn't even know we are only 29 laps into this because these guys are starting to look like they're racing for the win. You've got 3 wide coming down the front stretch. Ray Alfalla in the middle. And you can just see the kind of confidence these guys have in their trucks and the other drivers around them as they hold that 3 wide all the way through turns 1, 2. Ray Alfalla looks like he's keeping momentum and is going to shoot back into that second position right behind Byron Daley.
So Daley takes the lead as Alfalla goes to second, and I'm sure he's looking for a little bit more. Enter Cody Burke into this battle as well. 20 on the inside of Chambrone for position number 4, number 10. Where are you going? Alan Gray nearly lost control of that truck at a corner number 4. Great save by the 10.
I'm not sure that was a planned move. I mean, with the way they're racing, you kind of get taken off your line and you just kind of hang on and see what happens. And great job of saving that truck and not having a second caution of the afternoon here.
At the moment, your top 5, Byron Daley, Ray Alfalla, Simon Crochart. Is Crochart looking at the 2 for position number 2? Chambrone in 4th, Cody Burke. Your top 5 as we work single file for the time being throughout your top 11, all in the same draft.
I would say they had worked everything out, but just as I say that, you see everybody starting to move down low and make moves again. I see the 0-1 Alex Chambrone coming inside of Crowshirt.
Battle for third as Chambrone looks to have that position, looks to get Crowshirt out of line, get a little bit of a draft help from Alfalla and Daley. Down the back straightaway, Crowshirt into the wall. That's not going to help his effort. Underneath goes Cody Burke as well. Crowshirt going to lose at least 2 spots. He might lose a few more here too.
Yeah, hopefully he didn't damage that truck too badly there, and he'll be able to stay in the draft and regroup a little bit, but it seems like that'll cycle him back a bit, and right now we're looking at Daley, Alfalla, Crowshirt, 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry, Chambrone in third. I'm sorry about that.
And it looks like Crowshirt may have just a little bit of damage to the rear end of that race truck. I'm looking at the right rear portion of that race truck. I'm not sure how that's going to affect him. It looks cosmetic for now. At least he's holding up with your top 5. I don't think there's any suspension damage from that race truck, or at least he hasn't shown it yet as he's still keeping up with the leaders. Just behind them, 2 and 3 wide, the 12 truck. I believe he may have just gone a lap down. That's Matthew Close in the number 12 truck. He did go one more lap down to the field, but he's trying to keep up with these leaders here, trying to make something happen. I don't think it's going to do any good for him, though, as the 11 of Nick Maynard makes the spot up on Brandon Bowie.
Yeah, you see him doing a good job of staying down low and out of the way, and now he's going to slip behind the 17 truck and hopefully just be able to stay with them and enjoy, I guess, the drive for the rest of the day, because 2 laps down, he's going to have a bit of trouble making a run at the win, that's for sure.
They all scatter down the back straightaway. Bowie and Stoops are going at it for position number 8. Andrew Berger is there as well in the 32 truck. Berger looking to make something happen and to get some racing team GSR. Chevrolet Silverado as Nick Maynard nearly loses control in front of this pack. Everybody has to scurry around truck number 11.
And you can just see how quickly Stoops had to jump on the wheel to get underneath him there. And like you said, and he's into the wall as well going into turn 1. So few guys having trouble here. They are dicing around and definitely off their main line.
A lot of hard racing going on here. 23, he saves it on the back straightaway. I don't know how he saved that when it was looking towards the inside wall. Great save by the 23, but he's going to lose at least 2 spots. 45 and 46 is going to go past. The 9 is looking as well, but the 23, what a save.
And that all-white truck with no number, that's actually the 75 of Kenny Humpy, who is now moving up into 18th position. So great moving from Kenny Humpy, who started in the 43 position, now running in 18th.
And a former winner of the Landon Castle Qualifying Challenge is Kenny Humpy. The last time the Landon Castle Qualifying Challenge happened, he was the victor at the Darlington Raceway back in May of 2011, if my memory serves me correctly. So he's moving up through the field and looking to make things happen. One of the big names in this top split for the March on Michigan 300.
And looking back to the front, things haven't changed a lot. You got Byron Daley leading the way, Ray Alfalla all over him, and then we basically have the same kind of racing right behind that. Guys just mixing it up back and forth, upside down, inside out racing going into turns 1, 2. You've got Alex Chambrone, I did it again, in 3rd spot. And despite that damage, that 15 truck is looking pretty strong.
Yeah, Crowshirt just made the pass on the number 20 at Cody Burke, so it looks like it's just cosmetic damage from here. It doesn't look like there's any suspension damage hindering the progress of Simon Crowshirt right now as he moves up to position number 4 and he stalks Alex Chambrone. Chambrone, I believe, might be starting to feel the pressure here as he has the 16 creeping up on him as we have a pass for the lead. Ray Alfalla and Byron Daley side by side. Ray Alfalla looking to take away the lead. I think he may have it here. Perfectly timed move if he can pull it off.
Just catching word on things going on in the 3rd split. This comes to us from Darren Ganji, who is right now jumping from room to room. And on the 3rd split right now, Ryan Hill leads the way with Corey Zatinsky in 2nd and Todd Granger in 3rd. There's a lot of chatter going on in that room of these guys just having a ton of fun and some great racing going on in the 3rd split. And I believe they are about 27 laps into that race on that end.
Great racing all around in this ISR SSCA March on Michigan 300. You are watching the top split here this afternoon. Ray Alfalla and Byron Daley, the two NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship drivers in the field, run 1 and 2. Here comes the 01 though, and here comes the 16. Alex Chambrone looking to make a move on Byron Daley, side by side for position number 2. 01 looking to take it away.
You know, it's looking like Alex Chambrone was falling off just a little bit, but I was very wrong about that thought as he moves into second place. Great move. Alfalla has now got himself a little bit of a distance between him and second place as these guys are racing for second.
And looking back here for third, it looks like the 91 of Byron Daley may have fallen off the pace a little bit compared to what he was running a little bit earlier. Obviously, he's not off the pace of the leaders, but compared to what he was running a little bit earlier, it looks like he's held back a little bit because now Crochart all over the back. Tailgate of the 91, 16, pokes the nose, shows the nose underneath the number 91. Nothing doing here, but it looks like Byron may have slowed his pace a little bit here.
Got a truck out up into the wall looking to find out who it is. A few of these guys get wide going into the corners. Looks like we're still green. And it looks like it's the 14 truck that got up into the wall.
And we stay green flag racing. I do see that Matthew Close has disconnected from the server, so it looks like his day is done in position number 43 right now. That would be the first retiree of this race, and we are nearing the 1/3 distance mark in this event. A lot of drivers, and it was stressed in the drivers meeting, Sean, showing a lot of respect to the other competitors in this race. Very clean, and it's showing here. We've had one caution in the first 40 laps of this thing.
Keeping my eye on Kenny Humpy still. He is now up into 14th place. So moving very quickly up through this grid is the 75 truck of Kenny Humpy.
He'll be one to watch before the checkered flag flies, and he's back there with a whole lot of stiff competition. He works underneath, I believe that might be Alan Gray back there now. Indeed it is 75 underneath the number 10 for position number 13, 46. I'm trying to follow him through as well, but Kenny Humpy making tracks to the front of this field. P13 right now for the 75.
Checking back to the second split, I see they're actually under caution over there again, so these guys are having a tough time getting things going, and it looks like Seth Demerchant is leading the way, and but again, they are still having trouble. They're only 29 laps in and 3 cautions in the second split.
I'm sure they'll get those caution flags out of the way early, and they'll see some green flag racing in that event like we are seeing here. I've just been watching Kenny Humpy, as you mentioned a little bit earlier there, Sean, working up to JB Masita. That's the battle for position number 12 right now, as Alfalla has company. Lead, Alex Chambrone underneath Ray Alfalla. Chambrone making a pass in the champ.
Great racing up front for the lead right now, and Chambrone to the inside. Alfalla is not giving way, though. He is holding strong, and a lot of momentum out on the outside.
Byron Daley, without thinking, 3 wide to the inside in the number 91 truck. That's the racing we are used to seeing from Byron Daley. Is the 91 at least going to pick up one here on Alex Chambrone in the 01. Ray Alfalla going to escape with the lead. That might have been the best thing Ray Alfalla could have seen, was Byron Daley going low on the 01.
Yeah, kind of clear the way for him to get back up to front, but it just shows how evenly matched these trucks are. No one in the lead right now is able to get away. You've got 6 trucks all together. Any one of these guys have a legitimate shot at it, including Simon Crochart, because like you said, that damage on the truck doesn't seem to be hurting him any at all right now.
And he is side by side with Chambrone, getting a little bit of a push from Cody Berg in the number 20. Up on the outside line, Brandon Bowie, one of those drivers that started mid-pack that I said you might want to watch this guy before the end of the race. Bowie is up in the top 5 and battling Simon Crochart for position number 4.
Side by side they go as they cross the line here, and we have 46 laps going. So with only one caution, the laps are going by rather quickly. We're coming up on the 1/3 mark of this race.
Laps are flying by here as Bowie continues to battle with Crochart. Bowie on the outside line, Crochart on the inside line, and a lot of stiff competition coming up here. Here comes Andrew Berger in the number 32. Let's give a call out to that truck in the 7th place position. One of the GSRacing.net Truck Series competitors, made the chase last season, and the one thing that really stands out to me about Andrew Berger, he has that I don't want to quit attitude. He has that racer's mentality. He wrecked at Richmond going into the chase, the final race before the chase, in that GSRacing.net Truck Series. Damaged truck came down, repaired the truck. He made the chase by, I believe, only 2 points. So he has one of those I don't quit attitudes, and I think we're going to see that before the end of the race. Andrew Berger in position number 7. I don't think we've heard the end of that name yet this afternoon.
Yeah, he just keeps scratching and clawing his way, and, you know, he's in a great position right now because this front group is very tightly matched, and like I said, any one of these guys have a chance at the win, and we see the way they're racing. You never know what can happen because we've seen 2 and 3 wide all the way up at the front of the grid.
We are closing in on the 1/3 distance mark of this race. Ray Alfalla is your leader. Byron Daley, Chambrone, Bowie, and Crochart are your top 5. Cody Burke, Nick Maynard, Andrew Berger, Tanner Stoops, and Eric Burke complete your top 10 at this point, and it is single file racing throughout your first pack of 8 trucks, and I believe all the way back to about probably 15th place or so here is single file. First battle I see side by side is Paul Williams, and that is at P19 with truck number 8.
You know, I've been catching us up on different splits going on. I want to look at the rookie D split. This is a group of guys who are pretty much some of the newer racers in iRacing, but they're getting a great chance at surprises today as well. They are running their caution 17 laps into this race, and we have Patrick Vander Meulen leading the way over Kevin Albers and Sean Denver. Sean Denver, that is.
So those guys getting a chance to shine in their splits. And of course, if you're looking to get involved in iRacing, great promotion with the 3-for-1. You get 3 months for the price of 1 if you head over to iRacing.com. You could see yourself racing here on a big race such as the ISR SSCA March on Michigan 300, or you could see yourself racing in the NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship or the iRacing World Championship Grand Prix Series, which comes up in a few hours here as they head to the Indianapolis road course for that series in a couple of hours' time.
Hey Tim, I want to talk a little bit about a couple of our sponsors that we have for this event. We have some great prizes. We might have a caution on the way. I'm going to hold on that prize update. Looks like a little trouble somewhere.
And I did see a little bit of dirt on the front straightaway, and I see the 85 truck pointed the wrong direction here. That is Aaron Kleinhans. So the 85 is going to bring out the caution flag, and he missed one wall, but he's going to hit another. He and the 69 get together, and he misses the... Oh, he barely misses the pit wall, but he misses he collects the inside wall, and I believe that's an unsafe pit exit on that as well. Tough hit for Aaron Kleinhans. It's a good thing we're racing a simulation because we might need a medic after that hit. Caution flag flies for the second time today.
Yeah, that's a real hard lick. Well, 2 hard licks. That's a rough way to end a race, that's for sure.
So we'll see if these drivers do decide to come down pit road under this caution flag. Alfalla, Daley, Chambrone, Bowie, and Crochart, your top 5. So we've been about 20 plus laps on this run. We saw 20 plus laps on the first run. These guys should be down for at least, I would say, 2 tires in fuel. We saw a lot of 4 tire changes on the last pit stop. Alfalla and Daley going to bring this field down onto pit road into the attention of their crews. We'll see if anybody gambles at this point in the race. And this might be the time to gamble here, Sean. You're not at the end of the race yet. Might as well try maybe 2 tires to see if you can't get an advantage.
Well, it seems that running in that front group of 7 to 10 cars is very critical because things do get a little dicier in the back and spread out. So this would be a good time if you need to move up from that mid-pack and want a shot at this race. You got to be up there with those big names at the front if you want a shot at the wins. That'd be one way to gun.
Alfalla takes 2 right side tires, as it looks like we are going to have a 4-tire stop on the number 2 of Ray Alfalla. Does anybody decide to gamble? I don't think so. Ray Alfalla going to win this race off pit road. Byron Daley second, Alex Chambrone in third. So as those drivers race back out onto the racetrack, let's get ready to take a pit stop of our own. We'll step away for just a few moments' time and bring you back to some more live racing. It's the Inside Sim Racing SSCA March on Michigan 300. We're going to step away for just a few moments' time. Don't go away. We'll be right back with some green flag racing.
Does a real race car have a center post? Of course not, and neither should your race rig. The RSeat Evo V3 with its unique design has no center post. The RSeat Evo replicates what you would be accustomed to in your daily driver or something you may take to the track. It can accommodate drivers from 4'11" up to over 6'6" tall and is pre-drilled for all of the major wheel manufacturers on the market today. When it comes to performance, look no further than the RSeat Evo V3. Check out the RSeat Evo and other sim racing equipment by heading to www.rseat.net.
Tamiya's extensive lineup of radio-controlled vehicles provides hobbyists with the joy of running exact replicas of their favorite car, tank, or off-road vehicle. Another attraction of these vehicles is their use of high-grade materials such as nylon resin, carbon fiber, and polycarbonate. With precise mechanical systems, the maintenance and adjustment of the various components as well as performance upgrading with optional parts allows for truly competitive racing. For more information about Tamiya, visit us at www.tamiyausa.com.
Welcome back to PSR TV and the live presentation of the Inside Sim Racing SSCA March on Michigan 300. We are going green flag racing right here, the first racing Ford Mustang pace car. We'll get ready to head to the safety of the infield. Ray Alfalla, Byron Daley, row number 1, Chambrone, Maynard, and Crochart. Complete your top 5. Pace car in here, the champ. Gonna put the hammer down to get us back underway. 53 complete here, and the green flag flies.
Good jump by Alfalla. He cleanly gets away a little bit, and Byron Daley pulls right in behind him, and Chambrone is into third. So not a lot of changes in our top 3 right now, and it looks like things are going to pick up right where we left off with this main group getting right into single file racing, but I'm going to see them start making moves on each other again, just like they've been doing all race long.
The top 3 have definitely been the class of the field so far this afternoon. The 11 and Nick Maynard trying to get up there as well to make it a 4-horse race for the lead position. He's hanging with Chambrone right now as we are just side by side with Tanner Stoops and the 75 of Kenny Humpy. Humpy nearly lost the back end of that racetrack.
And Kenny Humpy is down low, but he's moved all the way up into 8th position. So what a turnaround for him. He is now into the top 10 and looking very strong for the event so far.
And Tanner Stoops is hung up high with nowhere to go. He's going to lose one more position to Will Bell. Back in front of the field a little bit, Nick Maynard and the 16 of Simon Crochart are now side by side as Byron Daley falls back to third as Alex Chambrone goes to second now to chase Ray Alfalla.
Oh, and big trouble by Maynard. He goes all the way down into the infield. Great job of saving that truck, but he is going to go all the way back through the field.
Number 11 and Nick Maynard, what a save by that truck. And you know when it's pointing towards the inside retaining wall, when it's pointing towards the barrels coming onto pit road, you know you have to make evasive action to save it. What a great move by Nick Maynard. The good news is he's still in the race. The bad news is he's back outside the top 10.
And it looks like not only did he do a great job of saving it, but he did a great job of not overcompensating and going into the wall, like you said. Really, really good car control there by Nicholas Maynard. 17 truck now having trouble.
Oh, he's not going to save that. Into the barrels he goes, or into the tires he goes at the end of pit road, and that should draw us a caution flag here on lap 56.
You would have thought that would have brought out a caution because that car was going hard into the infield, and I can't imagine he didn't hit the wall. That was the 17 truck. I'm trying to get a name here. Eric Burke. Eric Burke, who his truck is now in serious disarray. Crowd walking down on the infield. He's definitely not going to make it around, I think.
I think the pace car driver went to the canteen to get an extra hot dog. I think that's why we didn't throw the caution flag for that one, Sean, as we stay green flag racing. Ray Alfalla, Byron Daley. Alfalla trying to step away a little bit over Byron Daley, 2 truck lengths between your top 2. Daley has company, though, in the way of Chambrone, Crochart, and Burke. Your top 5 race down the back straightaway on 58.
So the other Burke rounding out that top 5, and they definitely have broken away. They got themselves about 6/10 of a second lead over 6th place right now, who is Kenny Humpy. Kenny Humpy has moved himself all the way up into 6th place and has just now got to pull himself up to this lead group. And what a job by Kenny Humpy, and like you said, making an even bigger name for himself today.
And he still has a little ways to go, about a half second before he catches his top 5 battle, but he can sniff the draft. He is making his move to the front of the field, and I see just out of the corner of my eye we have a side-by-side battle between Brandon Bowie in the number 4 and Andrew Berger in the 32. That is for 8th and 9th place respectively. Bowie on the inside line. We saw him earlier make the moves on the outside line. It looks like that number 4 truck can go anywhere he wants to and really make a move.
Yeah, good pass there down low and making it stick, and now he's got his eyes on the 15 truck of Will Bell.
Will Bell in position number 7 as those 2 drivers close up to the number 15 truck. That is going to be a battle for that position as they continue to run. Here comes the 4 underneath the number 15.
Like you said, he's making that truck stick down low and not even loose coming off the corner. So really got that thing, well, they're thick setups, but he's really got that line working out now. You can see Bell held a lot of speed to the outside, and that's going to put him side by side going into 3-4.
This time by 60 laps completed and 90 laps to go in this event. And as those drivers battle side by side, one of them got the wall back there at corner number 4. I believe that may have been J.B. Masita as he came off corner number 4 and he collected the wall, tried to go a little bit wider than he wanted to as the 11 and Nick Maynard picks up a spot there. We got a crash in front of them, I do believe. Ray Alfalla, your leader, is into the wall.
Not sure what happened to Ray there, but his truck is a mess. We're going to definitely have to get a replay on that if we can.
It looks like Ray may have got the safer barrier going into corner number 1. That's a rare mistake from the champ. He tried to go for the wide corner entry. It looked like Byron had nowhere to go but into the back of Ray Alfalla. Oh boy, that's a tough way to lose positions and lose the lead.
It's really funny how somehow that little piece of wall just sticks out a little bit.
So as we queue up the replay here, it looks like we're going to take another peek at another split going on in this race here, Sean. There's many splits throughout this event. So as we queue up the replay of what happened to Ray Alfalla, let's take a look elsewhere.
Hey guys, Darren Ganji here, and taking a look at what I believe is split number 3. Kind of hard to tell based on the drivers. Actually, I believe this is split number 2. Michael Duell leading the way. Truck number 88, excuse me. They are 47 laps into this race, and they have not had a good outing today. Lots of cautions. I believe this is about the 5th one today. So these guys are struggling to put in a good race. Michael Duell leading the way, Mark Gomez 2nd, Jonathan Mahone 3rd, Michael Collini 4th, Gabriel Aria, excuse me, sorry about that pronunciation, running 5th. So back to race 1. Lots going on there, huh, guys? The champ into the wall, I heard.
We're going to get a replay queued up of that one, as that's tough for Ray Alfalla, and you rarely see a mistake out of the champion. It's like Hugo and Gregor on the roadside. You rarely see mistakes out of them. You rarely see a mistake out of Ray in the oval side, as these drivers now coming onto pit road. It looks like Kenny Humpy maybe taking 2 tires here. Kenny Humpy going to speed off a pit road, and he's going to win the race off.
He wins the race off by a landslide, taking only 2 tires. Looks like he's the only truck to have done that. And Kenny Humpy has now done the impossible and gone from a 43rd position start position all the way to the lead of this race. But will 2 tires be enough against these guys behind him? He's going to have Byron Daley right behind him with only with 4 full tires.
I think this is the time to definitely take that gamble right now, Sean. We're looking at just prior to the halfway point in this race. We're not even at lap number 75 yet. I think this is the perfect time to take that gamble. He was running in position number 6, so if he doesn't fall back behind position number 6, I think it's a good gamble to take right now, especially since we haven't gone a whole lot of laps on the tires that we had on the race trucks. Ray Alfalla, meanwhile, he got some of that damage repaired to that number 2 truck. It's not as bent in as it was before, but now he's got some work to do to get back up to the front.
Well, and one thing I'm sure we'll see him do is kind of just sit there where he is in position, feel that truck out, and find out how much truck he still has, and will it be something that he can put back into the contention. We've seen, the 16 truck of Crowshirt run around with some damage all race long, and it hasn't seemed to hurt him that much. However, Ray's damage looks to be a little bit more substantial.
And Ray's going to take the opportunity now to come back down onto pit road and get service to his race truck. So the 2 crew going to go back to work on that race truck. Kenny Humpy is scored as your leader. Alex Chambrone in second. Simon Crowshirt in third. Cody Burke and Andrew Berger complete your top 5 as we double up and get ready to go back to green. The other driver that was running up front and had a little bit to do with that incident after Ray got into the wall, he got into Byron Daley, or Byron Daley got into him, whatever way you want to look at it. Daley is running back in position number 18 right now. So the 2 NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship drivers are deep in this field right now.
Yeah, it's kind of been a facelift to this race, which maybe to an extent we did need. We're 64 laps of 150 completed, and we have some new faces at the front now. So be very interested to see if Daley and Alfalla and how strong they are, and can they move back up through this grid. But right now, all eyes are going to be on Kenny Humpy and his 2 tires.
So Darren Ganji still here in the second split, and I think we're going to go side by side. We're about to go green at the same time. Gabriel Area leading the way in our split in the second split here. Michael Duell second, Mark Gomez third. Again, these guys are struggling, coming up on the 1/3 mark of the race. They're on lap 49, and looks like you guys are sooner, though.
We just took the green flag over here. Kenny Humpy in the number 75. Great start for him. Chambrone, though, on the outside, holding on. Here comes Crowshirt to the inside.
Looking to the back of our grid, I'm seeing cars 3 wide again as things get real crazy at the back of the field.
91, Byron Daley to the outside, and he just passed 5 trucks in corner number 1 and 2. He's going to pass 1 more to the inside, Brandon Bowie. Next victim up on the list with the number 91. Here comes the 11 as well, 91, making some moves here on this restart.
Yeah, and he is not wasting any time.
And here comes that other split, guys. They're going green. Let's see if they can see green for a while here. Looks like Duell got the jump. Already shaking it up, man. 3-4 abreast on the back straight.
Caution flag going to fly here in corner number 2, and there's one truck going the wrong direction, trying to get a number on that. That's Morgan Schooley in the number 26. Pointed the wrong direction, and it looks like the back end of that race truck is bent in a little bit. Looks like a multi-truck incident, though. as we mentioned off the top of the show, Sean, it seems like when something happens here, it happens big. When you go 4 wide, it happens even bigger.
Yeah, and a lot of that is the kind of speeds these trucks are moving out at. I mean, we're looking at 185 miles an hour, so something happens ahead of you, and you know, you can't just slam on the brakes the way this track works out and the way these trucks are balanced. So things do happen very, very fast.
And you look at these guys going 4 wide. Look at that 2 truck on the inside. The orange truck of Ray Alfalla misses this barely. 68 of Tanner Stoops takes a couple of hard licks. Comes back up across the track in the 27, nowhere to go but into the side of the 68. Schooley gets involved in this, as we mentioned before. The Tanner Stoops truck's heavily damaged. Nick Leap and Braden Whitaker also involved in this caution flag, among others. So 4 wide racing, it looks awesome when it works. Sometimes you have something like that happen.
So we had a nice green flag run to open this race. We had 1 caution, another good green flag run, but now we seem to have a little bit of trouble getting things sorted out and getting back to some green flag racing. We do have some trucks with some damage out there, and that's definitely going to change things up. Hopefully these guys can settle down and get back to some good racing here. 67 laps of 150 completed.
Okay, and back over to the second split. Duel stretching it out a little bit, almost a second lead over Jonathan Mahone, followed by James Ambrose. Wonder if he's related to Marcus. And old school sim racer Mike Grandy running 4th. I've known Mike for a long time in the 64 truck, and good to see him running up there in the top 5. Speaking of top 5, followed by Mike Kelleny, Seth DeMarchant, Art Gomez, Nick Verdstige, Kevin Oliver Adam, and Gabriel Area. Looks like he's fallen back in the pack a little bit. Started on the front of this restart. These guys are looking good now. Gonna hand it back to I'm gonna go looking for some other race, some of these other splits, guys.
It's been exciting so far throughout all these splits. This main split here seeing a little bit of caution fever right now. We ran the first, I believe it was 50 laps with only 1 caution in this race, Sean, and then we have a couple of cautions here in the last 20 laps or so. But Kenny Humpy right now, those 2 tires might pay off if he keeps getting the caution flags. He's leading this race with Simon Crochart in second.
Yeah, it won't take a lot of running like this to even things out on the tire playing field, so that's definitely working in his favor. And I think one thing we're seeing with those cautions, we do have some guys who've changed their strategy, and we've had a pretty good mix-up. So some of the faster guys are stuck in the middle of this grid, and that changes things. And as the laps tick by, things do get a little more intense. People want to move up. You start looking at how many laps are left, and if you want to be in contention for a prize, you're going to need to be at the front. So time to get it done.
We should see the light to top the pace car go off here. Humpy, Crochart, Chambrone, Burke, and Bell are your top 5. Andrew Berger runs in 6th. Nick Maynard, Brandon Bowie, Nick Zonter, and JB Masita runs in the top 10. And looking at Nick Zonter's name, he was one of those drivers, Sean, that started deep in this field. He's up to position number 9 right now. So a lot of those drivers that had some tough luck early that were up front are now at the back, and some of those drivers that were at the back waiting for something to happen, they're starting to show their face a little bit.
That's absolutely right. You know, before we went to break, I started to talk about some of the sponsors we have for this event, and without those sponsors, we wouldn't have such a great event. So I just like to talk about a few of the prizes that are available, compliments of our sponsors, but the winner in the top split is going to get his first pick of prizes, provided that he hasn't brought out a caution in the event. And then we'll go down to the second split, and the winner, that one will get second pick of the prizes, and so on through the grids. One thing I do want to talk about is the prizes we have available. So one of the things today, compliments of Thrustmaster, is a T500 racing wheel and pedal set, which is one of my favorite wheels out there. So lucky winner will get a choice of that. We also have RSeat with a Evo V2 chassis GTR V2 chassis being given away, and we also have a GT Omega wheel stand, which is a great prize as well. In addition to that, NVIDIA is putting up a 580 video card. So that's the type of video card you can run some 200, 300, 500 frames depending on your settings, so that's only going to make you faster. In addition to that, we do have some more prizes as well, but we are about to go green, so we should probably focus back on the racing action.
Pace car going to duck off to the pit road. Kenny Humpy going to lead the field to the green flag as we get the green silk again. Humpy slow to bring them down this time. Leader's prerogative, though, to bring them down. We're back underway, and it's going to let a lot of these guys in the back think about 3 wide early. Ryan Norton, I believe that might be on the outside line, trying to get a number on that race truck, going 3 wide on the outside in the number 27.
Yeah, definitely a slower start from Kenny Humpy than what we've seen from Ray Alfalla, and it's a big crash there. 15 trucks involved, 32 truck. I see a lot of trucks in the back now having trouble.
This is the big one at the Michigan International Speedway. Will Bell in the 15. I don't think Point is going to help him fix that race truck, as that was a huge hit for him, and it looked like he got loose in the middle of the pack. He was underneath the number 20 at Cody Burke. He got into 3 wide. We saw it on one of these earlier cautions, Sean, overcorrecting that race truck, and he overcorrected right into Andrew Berger, and a lot of these other trucks know where to go, but into other trucks and into the wall. The 2 of Ray Alfalla barely gets by it, but there's a lot of trucks that did not get by it. At least a dozen trucks get some sort of damage here.
Yeah, this has really messed things up quite a bit. Lots of the grid are caught up in this one, and I'll tell you, you had mentioned it, but these trucks have a tendency to do a little snap oversteer, and you start to overcorrect a little bit of looseness, and next thing you know, you go 180 degrees the opposite direction, and it happens faster than any driver can get save it with, honestly.
Let's take this opportunity to step away for just a few brief moments. We'll bring you back with what happened to bring out that caution flag. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Take your hobby to the next level with a quality racing rig that works great with a PS3, Xbox 360, and a PC. GT Omega Racing Simulator is compatible with a wide range of steering wheels, including Logitech, Fanatec, Thrustmaster, and more. The GT Omega is available now worldwide by going to www.gtomegaracing.com.
The T500 RS wheel and pedal set from Thrustmaster, officially licensed by Sony in Gran Turismo 5 and designed for the most die-hard racing fans. It has unmatched power and precision, it's backlash-free, and totally responsive. With this wheel and pedal set, users will go farther than ever before in their racing experience. To find out where to purchase the T500 RS, visit www.thrustmaster.com.
And you're seeing the replay now of what happened to bring out this caution flag, and Will Bell in the number 15. Tough break for him. Overcorrected that race truck by the looks of it. See if we can't maybe get a hold of Will Bell. I see we might be able to get a hold of him with the in-car communications, but Will Bell, tough break for him. He brings out the caution flag here.
Yeah, you know, and unfortunately for everybody behind him, when a truck does something like that and just does a split snap oversteer, there's nothing he can do, and then same thing for everybody behind him. That car comes up into the wall so fast that it's just going to take your line away, and you can see we had about 8 or 9 different trucks involved in that wreck overall.
So it's going to take a lot of competitors that had a shot at winning this race out of contention right now. You have a lot of these guys that were involved earlier in the top 5 that are out of the race. And speaking about out of the race, there's a lot of guys that aren't out of the race. Darren, what's going on over there?
Going live with race number 3 here, and just about to go green. Pace car just came in. Tim Guhit leads the way. Steve Clays in second. Robert DeRouge third. Doug Roth fourth. Jack Sedgwick. Here they go. 2 abreast into turn 1. Checked in earlier with these guys. These guys are on lap 59, and they said there was some great racing, but I think they may have a little caution fever over here as well. But mixing it up, they're on the back straight. Going into turn 3, 3 abreast. for the second spot. These guys are going at it. "38 trucks started this race, and looks like we have about 28 still running. Our very own Chuck Johnson from PSR TV's in this split, running 28th. Looks like he's a couple laps down. And Jack Sedgwick leads the way in the number 88 truck as they come to the line for lap 61. He's got a good jump on Tim Guhoot on this restart. Already has over a half a second lead. Man, they are battling for second right behind him. All right, let's hand it back to race number 1. They are getting close to going green again. And I believe Kenny Humpy's leading the way over there.
He is indeed. Lights are out atop the first racing Ford Mustang pace car, so next time by we will go back to green flag racing. It is Kenny Humpy currently over Alex Chambrone in the 01 truck. Simon Crochart is third, Cody Burke is fourth, and Nick Maynard in fifth. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Sean. Simon Crochart has a race to do in a couple of hours. It's going to be a quick flight over from Michigan to Indianapolis, isn't it?
Yeah, this is definitely one of those double duty kind of days. He'll be on a helicopter, on a plane, on another helicopter just to make that grid, it looks like.
And he'll be racing the iRacing World Championship Grand Prix Series coming up in just a few hours' time when that series heads to the Indianapolis Road Course, the upper echelon of road racing on the iRacing service, coming up on PSR TV in just a few hours' time. Kenny Humpy leads this field down the back straightaway side by side, and with those last few cautions, we have the field jumbled up a little bit. We have 27 drivers currently being scored on the lead lap, and we have, I am counting, at least 8 trucks out of this race at this point, and actually it might go up to about 10 or 11 by the time we're done this caution period. So the trucks are starting to pile up in the infield, and there's going to be a sale on virtual sheet metal at the end of this evening. Pace car going to head to the safety of the infield, and Kenny Humpy going to lead the field to green. Does he bring them down slow like he did last time? He is bringing them down at a tortoise pace. Here we go. Green flag flies. Humpy puts the hammer down, and Chambrone going to have a handful with second. Here comes Simon Crochart.
Humpy getting a much better jump out. This time he's got himself about a 3 truck length lead right off the bat. And that means this field can stretch out a little bit better than they did on that last restart. Hopefully we'll be able to get things settled down and green. One thing I noticed is Ray Alfalla is sort of taking advantage of these pits and these cautions, and he's moved himself all the way back up to 11th place. And despite the damage, that truck looks like it's running very strong, and wouldn't you know it, he's got Byron Daley right behind him. So certain things haven't changed other than their positions.
Daley might not be behind him for long, though, if Daley can find an opening around that 2 of Ray Alfalla. Possibly going to the high side here. Want to make sure with that damage on that race truck, you really don't want to hook that number 2 of Ray Alfalla. With a little bit of damage on that race truck, it might be just a little bit different reacting compared to a fully functional race truck without any of that cosmetic damage on that race truck. Or it looks cosmetic for now, but he did take a heavy lick into that safer barrier. So we'll keep a half eye on Alfalla and Daley as they battle for position. 3 is heating up right now. The 01 is Chambrone, the 20 of Burke to the inside. It's side by side for the final podium position as we just crossed the halfway mark. 76 completed here, 74 to go, and Chambrone going to pull the crossover.
Guys are dicing it up back there, but Kenny Humpy's definitely protecting that lead. He's got a 3/10 second lead over Crochart, who's definitely reeling him in, but he's got a little bit of breakaway over Cody Burke. So 1-2 have got themselves a little bit of the distance and a little bit less than halfway left in this race.
Nick Maynard has his hands completely full. 11-4-46, and I believe that's the 24 back there as well. Enter Nick Zonter. in the 24 truck. I'm not sure where he came from, but he came from the rear of the field to begin this race. And Zonter started 40th on this field, so he's already moved up into the top 10. The 24 knows it's go time. Nope.
Looking back at Ray Alfalla in 10th place, and he is right now working over Alan Gray. Got him a little bit loose, wasn't enough to get by him, but definitely has his eyes set on that position number 9.
The champ looking to make his way up to the front of the field. He's bringing a friend along with him in Byron Daley. 2 on the inside of Gray for the spot. Can Byron Daley follow him through and make up one more position? I believe he can. Here comes the 91, the Matt D Racing. And number 91 of Byron Daley looking to pick up one more spot on the 10, just in front of them, Tedeschi, and the 24 getting at it.
So they do get by him cleanly and take over those positions, working together as sort of a team, despite the fact that they are the two that got together to cause both of their damages.
And they are coming up through the pack right now, and if those two drivers in front of them continue to battle side by side, they'll be up to the battle for 7th before you know it. 24 and 46. 46 shows the nose underneath the number 24 and shows the whole truck underneath there too. Tedeschi moves up one spot.
And looking back up front, Kenny Humpy now has Simon Croshirt right there on his rear bumper. So the front two are now fighting it out for first position, but they do have themselves about a half a second lead over 3rd place. And behind that, we have a good side-by-side battle for 4th and 5th.
The 11 of Nick Maynard to the inside. The 01 of Chambrone. The 4 also has a front row seat to this battle in front of him. Maynard trying to take away the spot. The 4, would he try to make it 3 wide here? He has to back off a little bit to not force the issue any more than they already is. 80 laps completed this time, 70 laps remaining as the 01 pokes that nose underneath the 11, looking for the spot back.
And you can see Brandon Bowie there back there in the 4 truck, just kind of going inside and outside, taking a look both ways, not sure which truck to follow at this point.
01 the inside as he takes the spot, or tries to take the spot away from the 11, just as he did a couple of laps ago. Fantastic racing for position number 4 down the back straightaway.
And meanwhile, up front, Kenny Humpy is looking very strong. We question that 2 tires and how that would work out in the end, but he is looking very quick with only 2 tires, and you wouldn't even know it. I mean, at this point, he looks as strong as any other truck out there. Simon Croce is staying with him, but definitely not making a move on him at this point.
Could it possibly be Croshirt maybe giving him the opportunity, Kenny Humpy, the opportunity to wear out his tires on that race truck, maybe sandbagging a little bit, not showing what he has right now at this point, because he has a little bit of a gap on the number 20 of Cody Burke and the 01 of Chambrone, as the former leaders of this race, Ray Alfalla and Byron Daley, well, they've swapped positions. Back at position number 9, Byron Daley has taken the spot from Ray Alfalla, but they really haven't been able to do a whole lot with it. Could they possibly be saving for the last quarter of this race?
Well, at this point, you definitely got to start looking at the amount of laps left, looking at your tires and how they've been doing on longer runs. With the reduction in trucks from the wrecks, I think we can expect some longer green flag runs now, and that's definitely going to change the strategy. And how many times more are these guys going to make it on pit lane? Are you going to make positions up on the track, or is it going to be done on pit lane? Will be one of the questions still to play out.
And as I said earlier about Croshirt possibly saving something, I think he just turned the wick up a little bit. 16 is on the 75 for the lead position. Just a half truck length between those two drivers as they come up at a 4. 83 laps will be completed right here, as just behind them, Chambrone's getting a little bit racy. He wants position number 3 away from Cody Burke.
Well, the great thing about them running 1-2 in the front right now, and you called it, Croshirt can kind of just sit there. He doesn't have to force the issue. As long as he's not getting pressure from 3rd place, he can do exactly what you said, and that is save those tires as best as he can, let Kenny Humpy do all the hard work on his 2 tires, and then when he's feeling strong, make a move, and that might even be enough to give him sort of a nice break over anybody behind him, should he be able to make a good pass and get by Kenny Humpy and make a distance. And this is the kind of track that you can break away and get alone. So right now they've got a big gap between them and 3rd place Cody Burke.
And if Third and fourth continue to do this. That gap's going to get even bigger. Here comes Chambrone to the inside, and here comes Brandon Bowie. Bowie looking at position number 4 from the number 20 of Cody Burke. Can Bowie get there? I don't think he's going to at a corner number 2. Chambrone up to P3. Does he have anything for the top 2? Guess we'll find out in the next few laps.
And looking back to that battle between Byron Daley and Ray Alfalla, was it a battle or were they working together? Daley has been able to sort of get a little bit of a distance over Ray Alfalla, so if I had to judge the damage between those two trucks, I would say Byron Daley is definitely looking the stronger of the two.
Keep in mind, though, they are in traffic right now. That might play a little bit of an effect into it, but Ray, I think, took a little bit of a harder hit than Byron. I'm not sure. Ray's not usually the one to save anything, nor is Byron Daley, so we'll have to see in the last quarter or so of this race what happens as he makes a move on Brian Tedeschi. Tedeschi now sees a 91 to the inside of him.
Also to the inside is Brandon Bowie to the inside of the 20 truck of Cody Burke, and it looks like he's going to take that spot away, and that's running for 4th position. Looks like the 11 of Nicholas Maynard is going to come inside of Burke as well. See if he can make that stick.
Maynard looking to pick up a spot in the number 11 truck, and it's been really an up and down day for Nick Maynard. In the Carolina Club number 11, he started near the front of the field. In fact, started in 3rd. He's been back around position number 10. He's been up in the top 5, and now he just passes car number 20, or truck number 20. Check that for position number 5. So Nick Maynard, it's almost been like a yo-yo, but it's been a good yo-yo in the fact that he really hasn't been outside the top 10 a whole lot.
No, he's staying right there in contention for this race, and speaking of contention, Simon Crochart, he seems to just be getting a little stronger each lap. He has got that truck right on the bumper of Kenny Humpy, and I haven't seen him make a move like he's going to make a pass, but he definitely looks stronger and a little bit faster, and we know his tires are a little bit younger.
Another driver on the move is Brandon Bowie, just behind this battle for the lead. He's got up to the 0-1 of Alex Chambrone, within striking distance, I should say, of Chambrone. Still a couple of truck lengths in between those two drivers as they work down the back straightaway. So watch that battle as well. Keep a half eye on the battle for the lead as Crochart continues to close in on that number 75. One little small mistake from Kenny Humpy, and we keep saying it with these upper echelon drivers, mistakes are few and far between. You can't really afford to bank on a mistake from somebody like that, but one little small mishap from Kenny Humpy could very well open the door for Crochart.
Looking back to the middle of the pack a little bit, I want to talk about the 36 truck of Steve Gottschalk, and I see he's moved up through the grid a little bit. Just watched him make a good pass on the 25 truck of Christopher Miller, and he's got himself the 69 of Kevin Parrish right behind. These two seem to be working together a little bit and seeing if they can't make up some time on the rest of the field.
25 looks underneath the 69 for position. I believe that's 18 back there as Miller looks to pick up the spot, and Gottschalk just in front of them. Fantastic 3-truck battle for position. Are they going to make it 3 wide here? Up at a corner number 4, 69. Yeah, well, let's go 3 wide in the middle. Why not? Almost going 4 wide there as the 49 truck joins the fray.
And you can see Christopher Miller is definitely not content letting these guys go by. He fights hard on the inside, and it looks like he's actually got the best line going into 1-2 right now as Gottschalk falls back a little bit.
And check that, that's the 40 of Aaron Hutchinson that was almost making it 4 wide there as he makes the 1 position up on the Gottschalk machine that falls back. Kenny Humpy continues to lead Crochart in second. The battle for third, though, starting to heat up, and it's heating up in a 4-truck battle as Chambrone has company. It's Bowie, Maynard, and Burke.
Yeah, all race long you've seen these trucks together, and they just, it looks like these guys are having a great time out there. You can see everybody's got a lot of confidence in their trucks. This track allows some great racing with multiple grooves, and you see him a little bit into the wall there by the 11 truck of Nicholas Maynard.
And look who's coming, Byron Daley in the number 91 underneath the number 11. Okay, thank you. I'm going to take that position away, and now he's going to close in on the drivers in front of him. He's got Cody Burke, Brandon Bowie, and Alex Chambrone. 91 is coming to the front of this field. Ironically, lap number 91.
I see a wreck right now between the 10 and 46 trucks, and cars are slicing. Looks like everybody got through clean, but those guys just got a little bit loose together and spun together.
And that happened right behind Ray Alfalla. As we're going to queue up the replay here, it seems like Ray has a magnet on him today for if he's not involved in the wreck either happens one truck behind him or one truck in front of him.
Well, it's a good thing to do for your sponsors. Make sure your truck is always on camera.
So you're looking at the 46 of Brian Tedeschi. He was involved in that incident, and I know he's one of our in-race reporters here this afternoon. Maybe we'll get Brian Tedeschi on the horn here in just a few moments' time to get his take as to what happened on that incident. But I do believe these guys are going to come down to pit road before that will happen. Here comes the 75 at Kenny Humpy.
And you can just see that the 10 truck, I'm not sure if Alan Gray touched him just a little bit or was just enough to lift the air off his wing, but that caused a bad situation for both trucks.
We'll ask Brian Tedeschi that in just a few moments' time as the 75 at Kenny Humpy comes on to pit road. Crochard, Chambrone, Bowie, Burke, top 5. Here comes the 75. Last time he was down, he took 2 tires. The gamble paid off. He got track position. Does he take 4 on this stop, or does he go back to 2? It's 2 right side tires for the number 75 of Kenny Humpy. Does he take 4? Sure he does. 4 tires for the number 75 of Kenny Humpy. He is down and away, and I believe he may win this race off pit road. He does.
Great pit stop by Kenny Humpy, taking 4 tires and beating everyone off by pit lane by a lot. You almost got to wonder, did he speed coming down pit lane? That is a huge gap, and didn't lose any positions there, and I don't think there's a lot of gamble on the line there with 57 laps left. You pretty much need new tires. If you had to, this is going to take you to the end, I believe, but you're probably going to want another set if you get another opportunity because the tires do start going away pretty quick here.
We talked about that incident. Let's see if we can't get a hold of Brian Tedeschi down in the garage area. It's Tim Terry up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
Man, you guys were racing hard back there. What happened to bring out that caution?
It was just everyone racing hard, like you said, and the 10 got a little tap, and he tapped me, and I just went around. Nothing I could have done. Then after I hit the wall, the truck was bad, and went down into him, and that was the end of it.
And a pretty cool race here, long race. We're on lap number 93 of 150, but the ISR SSCA March on Michigan 300, just a fantastic event, eh?
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun. Starting in the back like I did and coming all the way up to 7th was the highest I was going, and it was definitely good. I got to thank all you guys for putting it on.
Now, I know you're racing a lot of places on the iRacing service, but where do we see Brian Tedeschi racing on a weekly basis?
I run a lot of C-Fix, a lot of trucks, Nationwide Cup, and I do a lot of random stuff with Timmy Hill Motorsports, Ian Hahn, and all them guys. I race with them a lot, so it's a lot of fun.
Do we see a run for pro coming up?
It's in the works. I want to try going for it Season 3. It would be nice to make it, but I know there's a lot of good guys going for it Season 3, so hopefully I make it.
Before we let you go here this afternoon, let you have the opportunity to thank the teammates and thank everybody else that got you to the track this week. Any sponsors, anybody out there you want to say hello to? The mic is all yours.
I got to thank Timmy Hill Motorsports, all them guys over there for helping me out lately, helping me with my driving and setup skills and everything. Alex Sheehan-Brown for helping me out with this race, helping me with pit strategy and stuff. Hopefully he gets a good finish out of this. My parents for making it possible, iRacing, and all you guys in the booth and everyone who put this on.
That's Brian Tedeschi, driver of the number 46, out before the finish of this one. We wish you all the best in your future endeavors.
Thank you, guys.
So he will finish in the deep end of the field, 27th right now on the scoring monitor. Tough way to go out of this ISR SSCA March on Michigan 300. Kenny Humpy is your leader. Simon Crochart in second. Chambrone Zonter in fourth. Great stop for the number 24. Puts him up in the top 5. And Byron Daley completes that top 5. Just in front of your leaders, we have a couple of drivers that are looking to get the wave around here. That's Kenville Ennis and Morgan Schooley, as it looks like they're going to stay out in the racetrack, Sean, and get the wave around here to get one of their laps back.
Yeah, both of those trucks you can see have heavy damage, and they are both still on the lead lap if they can get this wave around. So they're the remaining 25th and 26th cars that'll still be on the lead lap of this race, which, considering the amount of cautions we've had, is a pretty good amount of cars still running on that lead lap, and you can see them getting the wave around now.
We have one lap before we go back to green flag racing. Darren, I know you've been watching some of the racing outside of this top split. What's going on throughout the other splits here on the March on Michigan 300?
I'm actually taking a look at the short split right now. I got to admit, I kind of messed up the tournament splits. One split only had about 15 drivers. But these guys have been running pretty much caution-free. They are on lap 114. Stephen Landry leads the way. He's got a 25-second lead. He's almost lapped the whole field by now. Second place, Kelly Bryant, 25 seconds back. Third place, a lap down, Chad Sandsteed. But those guys having a lot of fun. I talked to them before the race, and I apologize, and they say, hey, no problem. We're gonna have some fun racing here. So these guys getting it done. 115 laps of 150, mostly under green. So these guys are just about to finish.
And we are 56 laps to a finish in this event, the top split for the ISR SSCA March on Michigan 300, as we are about to see the green soak once again. And we've seen in the last couple of restarts, Kenny Humpy's been bringing them down slow compared to some of the drivers who have had the opportunity to go when the pace car leaves the racetrack on these restarts. So we'll see what happens this time, as Kenny Humpy going to bring them down with Simon Crochart to his outside. Humpy in the number 75, the former Landing Castle qualifying challenge winner, sees the pace car duck off, and the speeds will come up right here. Green flag flies.
Yeah, Kenny really bunches up the grid before he punches it, and when he punches it, he gets away nicely on that restart. Another truck to focus on is Byron Daley is back into the 6th position, so great job of moving back up through the field, and he's looking pretty strong. That truck doesn't seem to have too much damage. Certainly no more than Simon Crochart, who's been able to do good with that truck all day.
And he's going to poke that nose underneath the number 24 of Nick Zonter. Byron Daley going to try to go to position number 4 before lap number 96 is out. He's bringing the 4 along with him. Here comes Brandon Bowie. Bowie to the inside of the number 20. He is going to pick up one more spot as well.
So he's not even close to moving up right now. He's taking advantage of this restart and moving up pretty quickly. And you can see he's got himself a nice little gap there. Brandon Bowie in the number 4. He's got he's got the 20 truck right there behind him as well. So things are getting a little stacked up right there from Byron Daley back.
Here comes that number 20 to the inside of the 24 as they go side by side for position. The 4 of Bowie just in front of them. The 11 of Nick Maynard waiting for something to happen here with these top drivers, as here comes Maynard poking the nose underneath the number 24 and almost body checked that number 24 as he had the run. Oh, 24. Uh-oh. Save it. A nice save by the 24.
Great job there by Nick Zonter to make sure that truck doesn't cause another caution, but unfortunately, this is putting him all the way back through the grid, but great save there. Just got a word from our live timing that Simon Crochart just ran a 40.432 on his last lap, which is a very, very, very quick lap here at Michigan in a thick setup.
Very, very quick lap, laying it down right now is Simon Crochart and these guys at the top of the field. Kenny Humpy leads Alex Chambrone, and it's single file right now, but Crochart right behind him. Caution flag flies. So it looks like the 14 is going to take a little loop out of 4 as we get it keyed up. Darren, what's going on over there?
Yeah, we're in that 4th split, like I was mentioning, that short split. Steve Landry just dominating, 26-second lead over Kelly Bryant, and he's pretty much lapped a good portion of the field by now. They're at lap 120, so only 30 laps to go. These guys have been green flag pitting, just having a great race all day long. Yeah, that's pretty much all I can say. There's not much going on right now, not really many battles on track. Looks like 42 and the 80 truck actually are going at it. Arthur Perea and David Rosenblum. So yeah, some great racing going on over here.
And the 14 in this split bringing out the caution flag. That's Bobby Terrell, and I believe Sean Terrell was one of the early cautions in this race. Might have been the first caution with the 15, I believe it was. So he's involved in it again. I think he's going to have some more damage here than he had under that first caution, as Kenny Humpy stays out on the racetrack, as a couple of drivers in the back decide to come down pit road to get service to their race trucks. Ray Alfalla included in the number 2.
Yeah, you can see Bobby is just running that outside line and just almost got into the 80 truck, had to wiggle, and that was enough to get him loose. And unfortunately, Steve Gottschalk got into him as well. So a few trucks picking up some damage there on that spin.
So see if we can't get some in-car communication with one of our drivers running up in the front of this field in the top split. Kenny Humpy runs in the lead, but Alex Chambrone runs to the outside right now in the 01 truck. Alex Chambrone, it's Tim Terry up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
You were running up front earlier with Ray Alfalla and Byron Daley, and now you have Kenny Humpy to the inside. What's it going to take in these last 50 laps to win this race?
I think just be easy on the tires and make sure we make enough fuel. I think it's pretty close right now whether we can make it the rest of the way.
We saw some caution fever here in the last few laps of the race. Drivers trying to make their moves to the front. Another driver trying to make his move to the front is going to start right behind you on this restart, Byron Daley. Who are you more concerned with racing in these final couple of laps? Nick Maynard's been strong, Simon Crochart's been strong, Byron, Kenny. Who are you more concerned with?
I would take Kenny. He's always fast at these kind of tracks, or really anywhere.
Now, I know you have a lot of experience with these trucks in the GSRacing.net Truck Series, albeit this is a fixed setup race. How much is the C-Fix, the C-Open, and a series like the GSRacing.net Truck Series helped you prepare for a race such as this?
I run C-Fix a lot during the week, so really helped me with this.
Before we let you get back to racing, got about 2 laps before we go back to green. Let you have the opportunity to say hello to anybody out there watching, or any final thoughts before we send you back for the final 50 laps of racing. The mic is all yours.
Yeah, so hope I don't wreck.
That's Alex Chambrone, driver of the 01. We wish you all the best.
Thank you.
That's a man of many words, Sean. That is Alex Chambrone running in position number 2, and he's going to look to take away this win over Kenny Humpy. He's got Simon Crochardt in 3rd, Byron Daley 4th, and Brandon Bowie completes your top 5.
Kind of hard to imagine that guy is sitting here in the middle of such an intense race, because it sounded like he was just sitting in the middle of a library or something doing some reading, but shows you the kind of cool heads you have out here on the track today.
I believe the anticipation level might be ramped up a little bit here in the final 50 laps of this race, as these guys have got to the lap 100 mark, trying to get some green flag racing in here to try to get to that point. Keep in mind a couple of notable drivers that started the race out in front. We talked about Nick Zonter in the number 24 truck, was running strong early. He's back in 23rd place right now. Ray Alfalla back in 16th place right now. And guys like Terry Schmidt moving up through the field in position number 10, Kevin Parrish in 9th. How about Jonathan Berthier, position at number 8 right now? So drivers that haven't really shown their hand yet, starting to move up to the front of this field.
Yeah, we've seen a complete cycling of drivers here with just about a third left of this race. Probably a good time to take a quick break so that we can get things cleaned up and come back for a real strong finish.
Does a real race car have a center post? Of course not, and neither should your race rig. The RSeat Evo V3 with its unique design has no center post. The RSeat Evo replicates what you would be accustomed to in your daily driver or something you may take to the track. It can accommodate drivers from 4'11" up to over 6'6" tall and is pre-drilled for all of the major wheel manufacturers on the market today. When it comes to performance, look no further than the RSeat Evo V3. Check out the RSeat Evo and other sim racing equipment by heading to www.rseat.net.
Welcome back to PSR TV and the live coverage of the ISR SSCA March on Michigan 300. Your leader is Kenny Humpy, Alex Chambrone, Simon Crochard, Byron Daley, and Brandon Bowie, your top 5. We had 43 start, we have 26. Currently on the lead lap, we have 27. Currently on the racetrack, the only lap down truck is the 83, who is currently 2 laps down. Pace car going to head into the infield right here, and Kenny Humpy going to bring them down, and once again brings them down fairly slowly, 66 miles an hour, and he steps it on here. Green flag flies. The 01 of Chambrone, the 16 on the inside of Simon Crochard. Crochard trying to take it away, but great run on the outside for Chambrone. Here comes Byron Daley as well, trying to make it a 3-truck party for second place.
You see Daley coming down and kind of cutting off the rest of the grid there, making sure Brandon Bowie wasn't able to move up. He definitely wants another rock. 34 truck is now spinning. I see him collecting a few other trucks as he spins around. I see the 69 truck of Kevin Parrish is also involved. And we are definitely having trouble getting this thing back to green flag racing.
And a lot of those drivers racing mid-pack, but that one there looks to be a solo spin off the number 34. So once we get that replay queued up there, we'll queue the replay up. But Darren, what's going on in the other spits?
We're taking a look at the rookie D-class split. Had 27 trucks start this race, and they just got past the halfway point. They started a little bit later than everybody else, and currently have 13 trucks on the lead lap. They just restarted with Jason Wills leading the way, followed by Kevin Albers and Jake Potak. So a lot of these guys just getting started in iRacing. They may have taken advantage of the promo that we had to get the truck for free, along with the track here. Actually, it was $20, but yeah, they got some pretty good racing going on. The restart's about 6 laps in and running good. Jason Wells, as I said, is leading the way. He's got about a half a second lead over. Oh, little shake-up coming to the line. Running clean, though. These guys are having a pretty good race. Like I said, 3 abreast. Seeing lots of orange and red stripes. And Tim, going to hand it back to you. We got a replay queued up, ready to go from that first split.
And you see the 34 Terry Schmidt go around, and everybody coming 2 and 3 wide at him. Ray Alfalla was one of those drivers in the middle there that had to avoid him. 69, hard hit to that inside wall, and I would say his day is likely done for Kevin Parrish. We had a couple of drivers come down onto pit road, a lot of fakes being thrown at the front of this field. Byron Daley comes down pit road in the number 91 to get service to his race truck, and I believe he's going to get 4 tires here. That could be bad news for the rest of this field.
Actually, it looks like we had a little trouble in that race. James Dobrinda going around, and this was in the rookie and D split, collecting another driver. So just as we thought they were running clean, Sean Denver also going around. I believe he was running near the front. Yeah, he was. These guys were both running near the front, only 2 seconds off the leader when that happened. Doesn't look like either of them took on too much damage. Both back underway, probably going to pit for tires and clean things up and get going again. These guys still got a long way to go.
Thanks for the update there in that split, Darren. Looking at the pit stops here, we had about half the trucks on the lead lap come down pit road. Sean Ray Alfalla fuel only on the 2. Byron Daley takes 4 tires. He comes out just behind the 2 of Ray Alfalla, but I believe once this scoring loops, he'll be about 15th place.
Well, you heard it from Alex in that in-car interview that it sounded like they were all pretty close on fuel, so maybe a little bit of splash here was just enough to ensure being able to make the distance, and that could be a big factor. If we end up going green, and you know these guys have the ability to do it, so if we go green, that could really change who's going to be in contention for the win if a lot of these guys up front have to come down pit lane under green flag circumstances.
Could be big in deciding a winner of this top split for the ISR SSCA March on Michigan 300. Kenny Humpy is your leader as the pace car lights remain on, so we'll be at least 2 more laps before we go back to green flag racing, closing in on the finish of this event. 45 laps left to go in the top split for the March on Michigan 300. Simon Crochart in second, Alex Chambrone, Brandon Bowie, and Nick Maynard now going to be your top 5. Jonathan Berthier going to move up into position at number 6. Great run for him so far, trying to put it into a great finish. Ryan Norton, Riley Wyans, Kevin Moody, and Steve Gottschalk complete your top 5. Weren't we talking about Steve about 20 laps ago running back outside the top 25?
Yeah, Steve seems to be all over the grid right now, moving up and down at a rapid pace, but we do have big events going on out there, so you get through one of these wrecks real clean and you're going to pick up 5-10 spots just like that. You know, we did talk about the prizes earlier, and, you know, this is the top split, so the winner of this split will have their first pick of prizes. So we have a 10 different prize list, and the winner, provided they haven't brought out the caution today, will take their first pick, and the winner of the second split and then the remaining prizes will then be distributed out through the rest of the drivers here today.
So these drivers not just racing for the big glory in front of the cameras at PSR TV, they're also racing for some prizes as well. Kenny Humpy trying to take away the first pick of those prizes as he leads this field around. Pace car light should be off this time by closing in on the last 44 laps of this event as Humpy, Crochart, going to be your front row. Humpy seems to be the king of these restarts so far, and the fact that he's bringing them down slow, punching the throttle, not spinning the tires, and getting out to the lead, that could be big when we come down if he does have the lead with about, let's say, a restart with 10 to go.
And it is easy to spin the tires in these trucks on the restart, so go ahead and being clean like that is a big part of it. And the other thing is having that patience. It's really hard when that pace car pulls down to maintain that pace car speed. A lot of guys have a tendency to start speeding up, and everybody can really start judging that. Kenny just leaves them all guessing. They have no idea when he's going to hit that throttle, and they're all waiting on him to make his move.
These drivers work through corner number 2 on the final lap of this caution flag, and we'll be back to green this time by drivers that did come down pit road. Ray Alfalla runs in position number 15 right now. Byron Daley runs in 16th. Jeff Conover 17th. Christopher Miller 3 runs in 18th. Cody Burke and Barry Brooks complete your top 20. And those were drivers that did come down pit road in this caution flag. So the top 14 did not pit on this caution flag. The 2 has fuel only. The 91 on back, I do believe, have 4 fresh tires on their race trucks. So keep that in mind when we go back to green. And with the way Byron Daley's been moving through this field, I wouldn't be surprised to see Daley up in the top 10 by, let's say, 2 or 3 laps.
I completely agree. A couple new faces up in the top 10 right now with Jonathan Berthier, Ryan Norton, and Riley Wyans, who've all moved up and are looking pretty strong, and their trucks all looking pretty clean. And again, Steve Gottschalk is up into 10th place in that 36 truck.
Pace car going to duck off here, and we are going to be back to green flag racing. Kenny Humpy going to bring them down once again and bringing them down a little bit quicker this time. Green flag flies. A little bit of a quicker restart than what we're used to seeing from Kenny Humpy. 16 now on the outside line. Crochart had that second place spot. Got to start on the outside line. Chambrone trying to force the issue into 1.
But once again, Kenny Humpy has got away clean, and he's definitely got a good gap, and he doesn't have to even look in his rearview mirror as they battle it side by side for second place.
And we're going to drag race down the back straightaway. The 0-1 of Alex Chambrone to the inside. Crochart to the outside. Brandon Bowie, first row seat, front row seat to the battle in front of him. Where does he go? Where does he give a little bit of the draft? To the inside line it goes. The 4 of Bowie going to maybe make it 3 wide here off corner number 4. Oh, it's going to get close. The 4 on the inside for position number 3.
And you can see Brandon Bowie all race long has been in a position to kind of play that guesswork. Which car does he follow? Which way is he going to go? And he just seems to always have somebody in front of him and a decision as to who he's going to put his allegiance with.
Chambrone slides right up in front of the number 16 as Simon Crochart. Here comes the 4 to the inside of Brandon Bowie.
And with all this great racing going on, it's allowed Kenny Humpy to get out to about a half-second lead, and it looks like we have another caution on the track right now.
24 on the back straightaway. Nick Zonter brings out the caution flag once again here on lap 109 as he... same thing as the last caution, Sean. It looks like he went around all by himself, Sean.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping this was going to be the restart that would allow us to kind of get a rhythm and get back to that green flag racing that we had so much of. But apparently we still have trouble out on the track, and it's going to bunch this grid back up and put them under pace car speeds.
So Kenny Humpy is your leader. We'll see if he does decide to come down pit road under this caution flag. With all these caution flags that they are getting, we might see a lot of these drivers up in front gamble and stay out to try to make it on fuel. But we'll see if Kenny Humpy does decide to come down, or anybody in the top 5 do decide to come down onto pit road. Chambrone, Crochart, Bowie, and Maynard, and a lot of those drivers have been here since we dropped the green flag. Maynard's been up in the top 5 for a majority of the race, as has Chambrone. Kenny Humpy, of course, started deep in this field, so he had to work his way up to the front. Crochart was up there as well. Does Humpy decide to come down pit road? It looks like he is staying north of the pit road entry. A couple of drivers there in the back, though, flirting with it. Crochart going to come down? Yeah, why not? Simon Crochart going to come down onto pit road. Brandon Bowie going to come down onto pit road. So we have 3rd and 4th place coming down onto pit road here. If they take 4 tires and they have a couple of guys in the back decide to come down, which I don't see a whole lot of guys in the back coming down, I guess there's a few back there, this might not be a bad call by those guys, Crochart, to come down onto pit road.
Yeah, it's going to cycle some guys ahead of them who definitely have been out there for a while on those tires, and tires are very critical here at Michigan. But you got a lot of traffic between you and Kenny Humpy and Alex Chambrone up at the front. So, still a lot of work to be done. It is definitely a poker match at this point, with some guys deciding to stay out and some going in. I have a feeling they all have enough fuel at this point, but I think tires could come down to it in the end as well.
And Crochart takes 2 right side tires. So we'll see how this works out. Take our pit stop here, and we'll bring you back to some more live green flag racing. Less than 40 laps to go for the March on Michigan 300. Race fans, don't go away. It's an exciting finish coming up.
Take your hobby to the next level with a quality racing rig that works great with a PS3, Xbox 360, and a PC. The GT Omega Racing Simulator is compatible with a wide range of steering wheels, including Logitech, Fanatec, Thrustmaster, and more. The GT Omega is available now worldwide by going to www.gtomegaracing.com.
The T500 RS wheel and pedal set from Thrustmaster, officially licensed by Sony in Gran Turismo 5 and designed for the most die-hard racing fans. It has unmatched power and precision, it's backlash-free, and totally responsive. With this wheel and pedal set, users will go farther than ever before in their racing experience. To find out where to purchase the T500 RS, visit www.thrustmaster.com.
Welcome back to PSR TV and the live coverage of the Inside Sim Racing SSCA March on Michigan 300. We are still working the caution flag here on lap number 112. Kenny Humpy is your leader. Alex Chambrone in 2nd. Nick Maynard in 3rd. Berthier and Norton complete your top 5. So drivers starting to work their way up. Austin Osborne, I think this is the first time we've seen him in the top 10. Sean, he's up in 8th.
Yeah, definitely there's more cycling around. You got him in 8th, and Simon Crochart with taking that hit, he's in 9th, and Ray Alfalla in 10th.
Quick update on the second split. We're actually not going to go back to the other splits from here on out. We're going to stick with the main split. But a quick update: Michael Sewell leading the way in that second split by over 2 seconds. In 2nd, we have Kevin Adam. 3rd, Jonathan Mahone. 4th, our very own Ted Severins of SSCA having a great run today, 3.5 seconds back. Those guys on lap 122 and got a great green run going. But Tim, back to this one.
And this one's going to be exciting down to the finish. Kenny Humpy, Chambrone going to start on the outside. Nick Maynard going to be in 3rd. Crochart has some work to do to get back up to the front. He runs in position number 9. And the one thing that really puzzles me right now is that Crochart took 2 tires on the right-hand side of that race truck. Ray Alfalla, Byron Daley, Kevin Moody, a lot of those guys back there took 4 tires on their race trucks. I'm not sure exactly how it's going to stack up with those drivers being as strong as they are and Crochart only taking 2 tires. I'm kind of not questioning the call, but Maybe 4 tires might have been the way to go back there?
You know, in the practice races all week long, yet this is one of the biggest arguments when we would have caution and people coming to pit lane, was 4 tires faster than 2. You know, I'm of the school that any more tires I can get is going to help, and if it's only a matter of 1 position difference, then I'm going to take those 2 tires, especially when we're looking at 38, 37 laps left in this race. So that little bit of tire could come into play, and I think 4 would probably be the call. I mean, once you're coming down pit lane, you're losing position, so you might as well get as much equipment as you possibly can.
And another driver back there that pitted with Crochard is Brandon Bowie, and Bowie's going to start in position number 14 compared to Crochard's position number 9. Have to see how those guys navigate the traffic here in these final couple of laps of this event. 1 of 13 being worked on the board. We're back to green flag racing. This time by across the stripe. It'll be 75 and 01 in the first row, with the 11 and 45. Row number 2, 27, 77. Comprised row number 3, the 20 and 42, and a 16 and 2. The champ, Ray Alfalla, has worked his way back up into the top 10. And we'll start to the outside of Simon Crochard as the field begins to form up behind the First Racing Ford Mustang pace car. That will retreat to the safety of the infield this time by, and Kenny Humpy will bring them down to yet another restart. Humpy's been getting pretty good at this in front of the field. Pace car in, and Humpy bringing them down a little slower this time. He punches it right here. Green flag flies.
Once again, Kenny Humpy gets himself a nice little lead, and you've got Alex Chambrone dropping in right into second place. Things look pretty clean through the top 5, but then we are 3 wide or 6 position back.
Byron Daley, Ray Alfalla doing a little, pardon me, coming through, going through the inside line, going to make up a couple of spots. The 42 going to be kicked back 2 positions. 16 now, as Simon Crochard has the champ to the outside. Byron Daley going to follow the 2 on the outside line. Cody Burke is there as well, looking to make some positions happen. 16 gets a little push up in the middle of the corner.
So you got these 3 trucks who have been some of the strongest trucks all day long, working their way back into the field, all of them now into the top 10. And we definitely have a whole new race here with just a handful of laps, really. 35 laps left in this race. Things are going to start getting crazy here.
You can't afford to wait a whole lot longer to make your move, especially if you're back here just inside the top 10. We have Byron Daley and Simon Crochard, 2 drivers who were up in front earlier and led some laps. They're now side by side, but it's not for the lead. It's for position number 9 and 10. So these guys know that they have to get going if they want to have a shot at winning this thing.
And meanwhile, up front, Kenny Humpy is leading the way with Alex Chambrone right behind. Nicholas Maynard is able to stay with them. So we've got 3 cars, 3 trucks in other words, that are kind of breaking away a little bit. Jonathan Berthier in 4th place is falling back just a little bit into the hands of Cody Burke.
And we look at the front of that field, we've seen that Chambrone has been the class of the field, at least in the first 50 laps of the race. It was the 01, 91, and 2 running up front. The 01 is still there, but he has the 75 in front of him. So Chambrone, we know he has one of the better trucks in this field. We know the 75 has one of the better trucks in this field. And right now they're the 2 that are running up in front, with all those other trucks that I mentioned trying to catch their tail. Ray Alfalla, Simon Crochard, Byron Daley. Oh, what a save mid-pack. They were 3 wide coming off the corner, and the 16 was pointing towards the inside wall.
I don't know how Crochard saved that when he got Daley just a little tap from him, getting him loose, and somehow at 185 miles an hour, he kept that truck straight. And these guys are still battling. Ford truck is now getting a little bit loose. Looks like guys are really starting to drop the hammer now and trying to move their way up for the win.
Byron Daley to the inside, number 91 on the 4. Brandon Bowie side by side. Daley going to pick up 1 more spot. The 77 closing in on that battle as well. That is Riley Wyans. Wyans closing up on the battle in front of him as Crochard and Alfalla continue to do battle for position. They do the battle on the roadside as well, but right now they're in Alfalla's territory as Ray Alfalla loses that spot to Crochard.
Crochard really came high off of the banking and shot all the way down to the apron and carried a ton of speed to make that pass. That worked out really well for him. He was able to get by Ray Alfalla rather easily.
So now the 16 tries to pull away from the 2 of Alfalla. Is just behind them. 91 and 4 continue their side-by-side battle. The 4 of Bowie, the 91 of Daley on the outside. The 4 trying to maintain that inside line and take away the position. as Daley going to get the run off 4.
And you can see Bowie was having a hard time staying down low, and it was kind of forcing both of them up towards the wall. And it looks like Bowie is able to maybe make this stick going into turn 1.
Looks like Bowie has the spot. Now does Byron Daley close back in and maybe make a crossover move to the outside? Goes to number 91. He's got the nose there. Great run to the outside for Byron Daley. He's up to the door of the number 4. He's even with the 4 going into corner number 3.
And you can see these guys racing very hard. That's letting Ray Alfalla get away just a little bit up ahead of them. And it's really putting the focus on these two trucks as they seem to be switching position each and every turn.
Battle up in front, Kenny Humpy trying to hold this lead from the 01 of Alex Chambrone, and Nick Maynard has turned up the wick as well. Maynard looking for the win here, and he was strong early in this race. Don't count out Nick Maynard as he has the 01 in sight.
Maynard has been in contention all day long. We've seen that 11 truck looking very strong, and he's right now sitting in the catbird seat, just kind of waiting to see what happens between the 75 and 01 trucks.
Yeah, hey guys,
you can't
Darren
count
Gedge
out
here.
any of those drivers out in front there, Darren. Awesome battle we see here.
Yeah, I was just, sorry for cutting you off there, Tim, but I was just watching Nicholas, and he was about 4/10 back. He was almost in that pack behind these guys and just turned up the wick, ran them down, and now we've got a great 3-truck battle for the lead.
And that's Cody Burke in the 20 truck in 4th position that has kind of fallen back a little bit, and he's got Jonathan Berthier in the 45 truck behind him. So those two are kind of a little bit back, and then you've got that tremendous battle from 6th place back between Simon Crochert, Ray Alfalla, Brandon Bowie, and Byron Daley.
And Daley just poked the nose underneath the number 4 once again. These guys aren't done. I don't know how many times they've switched these positions in the last few laps, but Daley going to move up one more spot and try to close in.
So it looks like we finally got that green flag run we were looking for, and with things spread out, I'm hoping that this can kind of go all the way the distance. We see Maynard coming inside.
Looks like they touched there, Sean.
Yeah, a little bit of contact between the 01 and the 11 truck, and they both kept it underway. And things are looking, I was saying, lap count, we're on lap 123 now of 150, so a little bit over 26 laps, 27 laps to go.
I think when that number 11 poked the nose under the 01, I think it might have lit a fire under the 01 of Chambrone. You saw him close in on the 75 of Kenny Humpy, and now it might have lit a fire under the 75 of Humpy because he begins to pull away from the 01. Here comes the 11 of Nick Maynard underneath the 01 of Alex Chambrone. He shows him the nose, going down the back straightaway, looking for position number 2. Battle for the runner-up spot into corner number 3.
Yeah, and as these guys battle, that's taken some time off of their laps, and that could give Kenny Humpy the opportunity to extend this lead. And again, the laps are getting by, so getting a little bit of lead could be a huge thing for Kenny Humpy right now.
I think the battle we're going to see here is this second place battle, and you mentioned Kenny Humpy pulling away. As these drivers run side by side, Humpy's going to be able to pull away from these two drivers because they are losing time, but they're battling for second place right now. They don't want to roll over easy. 01 to the outside, 11 to the inside. Now 11 falls back a little bit and lets 01 have that second place spot. Chambrone maintains.
Yeah, despite being strong, it looked like the better move might have been to not keep running side by side, because that was just going to take them both out of the contention, and they seem to be very evenly matched trucks.
And even your leader right now, if the 01 and the 11 can stay in line, work together, get up to the front of the field or get up to the back of the 75, then we're going to have a 3-car battle for the lead position. But Kenny Humpy in these last, let's say about 80 laps or so has really gone unchallenged since he went and took the lead away from being at the rear of the field. So Humpy right now is strong. We know Chambrone's got a strong truck. We know Nick Maynard's got a strong truck. Byron Daley, Ray Alfalla, they really haven't been able to come back from earlier incidents. Simon Crochert hasn't been able to come back from the pit stop right now. They run outside the top 5.
But I did notice Crochert was just able to get around the 45 truck of Jonathan Berthier, and that puts him up into the 5th position. So he did come down pit lane and get those tires. He is moving up, but will it be enough time? He is right now about 2.5 seconds back to Kenny Humpy.
He's got 25 laps to go. If this thing stays green the rest of the way, he's going to need about 1/10 of a second in order to get up to the leader. But then getting up to the leaders, making up that time, passing the leaders, two different things right now as Crochart begins to close in. We'll see how much time he closes in on this lap, but he was fast with no tires on one of those long runs, with 2 tires, newer tires on that race truck. We'll see what he has here. It was 2.3 seconds the last time by. This time by, it's still about 2.3. He gained marginally that last lap by.
Looking back into 8th position, we have Brandon Bowie, who right now has a whole mirror full of Byron Daley. So that battle continues, and it's Ray Alfalla just up ahead of them. So Alfalla and Alfalla and Daley are still pretty evenly matched after their contact about 1/3 of the way through this race.
And they are definitely not done for that position. I'm sure it will swap at least a couple more times before we see the checkered flag to this one. They come up at corner number 4, 1:27 completed right here for your leaders. Kenny Humpy remains the leader by 1/10 of a second. Chambrone is there, as is Maynard.
And as we have a little over 22 laps left in this race, I just want to throw a shout out to iRacing.com, who this service is what's allowing us to have this tremendous race. Not just this great race, but we have multiple grids, multiple race rooms. We had a massive qualifying open for everybody to qualify in, and it's iRacing that's allowing us to have this incredible race and this great broadcast. So great job by them as well.
And it's getting dicey up in front, and iRacing putting on this fantastic software so we can see this 2 and 3 wide racing and this 3 truck racing for the lead right now, as Chambrone was getting really, really close to the back end of that number 75, giving him a little warning. I'm here. Don't forget about me behind you. Alex Chambrone running in a second to Kenny Humpy and Nick Maynard. He's going to be licking his chops right now. Something happens to the top 2. He's going to be the leader of this thing.
Well, and at some point, the way Kenny Humpy is running, at some point somebody might have to do something like give him a little bit of a nudge, because he is running a very clean line. He is looking just strong enough to keep anybody from just motoring by, and yet I haven't seen a mistake out of that 75 truck in quite some time. So it's going to take something like that, and that could open the door for someone like Nicholas Maynard or even Cody Burke running in 4th place, because those front 3 trucks are nose to tail.
And on the contrary, at corner number 4 the last time, Alex Chambrone had a little bit of a bobble, didn't lose a whole lot of time, but still you got to keep that truck straight and make sure you don't have one of those moments coming out of the corner where you could lose control of that race truck. But you mentioned it, Sean. Cody Burke is closing in 0.8 of a second behind. He's going to be there before the end of this race if these guys continue the way they are. Simon Crochart has closed in 0.3 of a second over about the last 5 laps. He's going to need some help in order to get up there. And by help, if these guys get side by side, that's going to be the help that he needs.
Well, and you can tell looking at the distance on the track, but Cody Burke right now is running faster than all 3 of those top 3 positions. And you can see that truck closing in quickly. And maybe he's just a little bit stronger on these tires than everybody else. It's been a while since Kenny Humpy had new tires put on that truck.
And that last lap by, you mentioned it, Burke and Crochart 0.2 of a second faster than your top 3 trucks. So they are closing in, and at 0.2 of a second, Crochart will be there before the end of the race. Burke is there right now, just about a truck length behind 3rd place. This is now a 4-truck battle for the lead on lap 132 of 150 at Michigan.
And I don't think we're a long ways away from it being a 5-truck battle, as Crochart is really coming on strong in that 5th position. But right now, it's the important thing between the 01 and the 11 truck, as they are looking for a place to make a move, and they are definitely getting down to the end of this race kind of racing that I'm hoping to see.
Keep in mind, we're coming down to 18 laps to go. 11 has had enough. He pokes the nose underneath the 01. Goodbye, Alex Chambrone. Back to position number 4. Goes the 01. It's just as easy as that to lose 2 positions here in such a close field of competition. It looks like Chambrone, I don't want to say has lost his shot at winning, but maybe he gets back there, maybe cools his tires a little bit. Maybe he has another run left in him.
You know, I'll tell you something you can do is overwork that right front. So he might just be kind of dropping back a little bit, see if he can't cool it down and put a good run together. As I see, Simon Crozier just ran a 41.3 on his last lap. So he is very quick out on track while other guys are starting to drop their times just a little bit.
Alex Chambrone in the 01 has the hand out the window. He is coming down pit road this time. Is he going to stay out? No, he's going to come on to pit road right here. He said he was close on fuel, Sean. Maybe he's a little too close to gamble on the fuel. We know a lot of those guys that pitted under those most recent cautions are good to go. This is going to hurt Chambrone.
Oh, I would not want to be coming to pit lane. You know, if my crew chief was calling me in, I would be like really wondering, are you right? I might have to chance it because now is not the time to come to pit lane, that's for sure.
And that's going to kill his chances at winning this event unless something catastrophic happens in front of this field. Kenny Humpy is your leader. Nick Maynard runs 0.2 of a second behind, 2 truck lengths in between your top two, and about 2 truck lengths back to Cody Burke. Simon Crozier was closing about 0.2 of a second a lap. I believe that has subsided a little bit. Crozier, we'll see what he pulls in this time by. It was 1.6 seconds between himself and the leader. This time by, it's 1.7. The leader pulled away on that last lap. So it looks like now if this stays green for the remaining 16, it's going to be a 3-truck race.
Yeah, the front three seem to be working together a little bit more, and that's going to help them out a lot. You had them racing side by side so much that it was dropping their lap times, but now they're getting down to business, and that's going to make it a lot harder for Crozier to close that gap. Very, very surprised once again to see him coming down pit lane at that juncture. By my count, I thought he still had plenty of fuel. So that's very interesting with so few laps going, but that leaves us a great race at the front right now.
We'll have to ask him after the race, because when we were talking to him under caution, he said we're close, and then we had 2 more cautions after that. Lead, here it goes, the 11 of Nick Maynard to the inside of Kenny Humpy. Nick Maynard goes to the lead, Humpy back to third, and Humpy would be on the same strategy, I believe, on fuel. He said he was really close on fuel. Usually when somebody says they're really close, a couple of cautions, they'll be able to make it. They missed it by 20 laps.
Hey Tim, Darren Ganji here. I was going back checking when they pitted. Looked like Kenny Humpy went in at about lap 93, so definitely gonna have to come in for fuel. I'm thinking that may be why we saw Chambrone in, but I don't know. It's gonna be tight.
I don't think those guys can make it that amount on the fuel. They've had a few cautions, but I don't think they can make it 60-some laps on the fuel. A regular race here for the C Open, I believe, is 65 laps, and those guys have to make a pit stop. So it would make sense to me that these guys would have to come down for 1 pit stop, especially with those guys coming down under those last cautions. Guys like Ray Alfalla and Byron Daley, they may come out looking like heroes. Simon Crozier's on the same strategy.
And in last night's race, we had a 100-lap race, and everybody pitted around lap 40. So that seems to be about the limit of what they can run.
So now it's down to saving fuel. Nick Maynard is your leader. Cody Burke in second. Kenny Humpy runs in third. We're not quite sure on the strategy for the top three. Obviously, Kenny Humpy came down prior to the lap 100 mark. I believe Burke and Maynard might be on the same strategy. We know Crozier has a few more laps left in the tank. Crozier may be looking good at the end of this one.
You know, I'm also thinking back of the way Kenny Humpy just kind of pulled up and out of the way. He'd been running so strong, he didn't put up any fight. Was that just a move to get behind these guys and save fuel? Does he think he's that close that he can save fuel and maybe have something for him at the end? It'd be very interesting.
If he's that close, that's probably the best thing to do, is to get back there, save a little bit of fuel. And he's hanging off these guys by about 2 truck lengths. That's probably the best thing to do if you are close on the fuel. But if Chambrone came down with 20 laps to go, I'm not sure if he came down knowing that he was going to be 5 laps short and came down anyway, or what the strategy was there. But the 75 right now battled for the lead up in front of him. This is going to help him a little bit. Cody Burke to the inside of Nick Maynard as they go side by side for the lead. Burke looking to go to the top of the scoring pylon for the first time this afternoon with 11 laps to go. Cody Burke going to go to the lead. Maynard going to fight it on the outside line. Burke is going to be scored as the leader.
Great job by Burke, but can he make it stick? He definitely is going to be scored that way, but it's a long way coming out of 1-2, and we'll see if he can hold that line down low and carry the speed, but we might just see the 11 truck of Nicholas Maynard slingshot on the outside. He might have scraped the wall a little bit. That changes everything.
And now Kenny Humpy going to go to position number 2. The 75 moves into second place. Is he going to move back into the lead? It looked like he was poking the nose there, but if he's short on fuel, trying to save a little bit of gas, probably leading this thing isn't the best thing for you to be doing right now. Crowshart, 1.5 seconds behind, or 1.4 seconds the last time by the stripe. With those guys exchanging the lead, Crowshart is going to close in, but only marginally, just about 100th of a second. That's not going to cut it if you're going to get up here and win this race, or maybe you're banking on those guys to run out of fuel.
Yeah, and fuel definitely seems like it's going to be one of the big stories of the day, and we had different trucks on different pit cycles, and it's kind of a gamble by all of these guys, and, you know, on our count, it's pretty darn close.
75 at Kenny Humpy, Cody Burke in the 20. That's the battle for the lead. The 11 of Nick Maynard is there as well. Crowshart sits back behind. Here comes Humpy to the inside line, going to tuck 4 wheels on the apron. He's going to get there under Cody Burke. And Kenny Humpy going to try to go back to the lead. Burke on the outside line, though, fighting back. Not letting it go easy. If they continue to do this, it'll close in Nick Maynard.
Chambron's out, guys. Just a quick report. Looks like that fuel strategy not working out for him. He decided to call it a day.
And talking about strategy, I'm kind of wondering about Kenny Humpy there. He pulled out of the way a few laps ago. Was that enough? Did he do enough drafting to maybe get his fuel meter to say he can make it the distance? I mean, we have very, very few laps left in this race. They are now on lap 143 of 50, and we have a great battle here for first place between Kenny Humpy, Cody Burke, and Nicholas Maynard.
And this is the best battle on the racetrack right now. 4th and 5th run all by their lonesomes right now. We do have Bowie, Alfalla, and Daley running back in 5th, 6th, and 7th place respectively. But right now there's no challenge for those positions with less than 10 laps to go. And as I say that, Daley gives Alfalla a shot going into 3.
So they're not done racing. It looks like there's not enough laps, and they're gonna be fighting for those kind of positions that they're in. Kenny Humpy, can he go the distance? Does he have enough fuel? That is the big question. And are Cody Burke and Nicholas Maynard, do they have anything for him? They both have been able to get by him at one point, but now Kenny Humpy is looking very strong back up front. And that distance between him and second place seems to be actually growing.
You ride on board with Byron Daley in the number 91. You see the 2 of Ray Alfalla in front of you. And those 2 drivers battle it out every Tuesday night or every second Tuesday night in the NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship. Byron Daley has been wanting to get past Ray Alfalla for the last couple of laps and just can't seem to do it.
And the other question is, can he do it? Cody Burke, he seems to be falling off of Kenny Humpy. Kenny Humpy is looking very strong. I'm not sure what that strategy was. He's had us guessing all day long with that starting from the pits. And then the 11 is inside right now. Nicholas Maynard making a move on Cody Burke.
5 laps to go. This time by as here comes Burke. Crossover move on the 11 of Nick Maynard. They're going to go side by side again for position number 2. Cody Burke looking to take it away. Kenny Humpy's got to be loving this for the fact that he's pulling away, but if he's close on fuel and the crew chief down there is kind of being a little bit nervous, tapping his toes, I'm not quite sure what the strategy is on the 75, but here goes the 11 to the outside again. He's going to lose the position to the number 20 of Cody Burke. Humpy is out by a half second right now.
And I see the leaders now coming up on some lap traffic. So, you know, I'll tell you what, if I'm running low on fuel, I like seeing trucks out ahead of me as well. That's going to help me a little bit. I like seeing that big gap between me and second place, but I see somebody coming down pit lane. So as you wonder about the gambles, trucks are starting to come onto pit lane. It looks like some guys are taking a couple, and I'm not sure if Kenny Humpy will be able to make it the distance despite having a nice 7/10 of the lead right now over second place.
And that was Nick Maynard
Kenny
coming onto
Humpy's
pit
slowing.
road as 75 out down the back straightaway. Kenny Humpy is out of fuel down the back straightaway. He is slow. He let Simon Crochart go. Now the question is Cody Burke going to be able to make it? Cody Burke, Simon Crochart, Brandon Bowie going to be your top three. Burke, can he make it the final 3 laps on the tank of fuel? He's got that 1 lap truck in front of him trying to get a little bit of a draft.
Yeah, and Tim, those guys all pitted right at the same time. Cody Burke, Kenny Humpy, Simon Crochart, all about lap 93. Same with Chambrone. He was also in that group that pitted, and I don't know. These guys, this is really shaking things up.
I think Crochart's going to be able to make it. He came down pit road to top off on the last caution flag that we had. If anybody's going to make it, it's going to be Crochart. I'm not quite sure about Cody Burke, though. Out in front of this field, he's going to see the sticks this time by. They're going to have 2 laps to go for the number 20 of Cody Burke. Crochart is 1.2 seconds behind. Bowie, Alfalla, and Daley are your top 5 at this point, but that could change if somebody runs out of gas.
Well, and the thing about Cody Burke is he did spend many laps in the draft saving fuel. Will it be enough? I don't know. A lap and a half to go. He's got other trucks right behind him, 1.3 seconds back to Simon Crochart. If he runs out of gas, that's not going to be too hard a distance to close in on. So this is going to get very interesting with 1.5 laps to go in the race.
If I was Brandon Bowie, I'd be up on the wheel right now trying to catch Simon Crochart, because that might very well be, if not the battle for second, it might be the battle for the win. If Cody Burke cannot make it 2 miles and change on this last lap. White flag out here, 1 to go.
I think he's going to make it, Tim. I just checked some things on lap 105. Burke came in for a top-off and tires, so I think he may just make it.
This is going to be good. Cody Burke in the number 20 came down on one of those last caution flags. Does he have enough to get to the finish? Down the back straightaway for the final time. He's still under power, and he has 1.5 seconds on Simon Crochart. He might be able to coast from corner number 4, still under power. The ISR SSCA March on Michigan 300 top split out of 4, and it's going to be Cody Burke coming to the line under power. He wins at Michigan. Simon Crochart comes home in second. Bowie in third, and he was closing in the later stages of that run. Ray Alfalla barely going to edge out Byron Daley and Patrick Davis. Give a call out to Patrick Davis. What a run for the number 38 at the end. Austin Osborne, Steve Gottschalk, Kevin Moody, and Nick Zonter complete your top 10.
And in 11th place, we have Morgan Schuley, followed in 12th by C. Thomas Morris, Christopher Miller in 13th, Aaron Hutchinson in 14th, Jeff Conover in 15th, Bobby Terrell finishes in 16th place, Nicholas Maynard, the 11th truck, finished in 17th, Jonathan Berthier in 18th, Kenville Innes in 19th, and Kenny Humpy, unfortunately, will finish in 20th place.
And that's 1 lap down for him. Barry Brooks, 21st, 1 lap down. Riley Wyans and Glenn Seidman, 2 laps down. Everybody else in the field out of the race, including Alex Chambrone, Ryan Norton, Terry Schmidt, Kevin Parrish, Brian Tedeschi, Alan Gray, and Alex Bison. Let's take
what
this opportunity
a great finish. Oh, go ahead there. Sorry, Tim.
As these guys light it up on the front straightaway, Sean, I believe we're getting ready for a post-race show here. I know we have Kenny Humpy waiting in the wings. We'll try to get some of our top finishers. Let's take the opportunity to step away for just a few seconds. We'll bring you back with some interviews here on PSR TV. Post-race show coming up.
Does a real race car have a center post? Of course not, and neither should your race rig. The RSeat Evo V3 with its unique design has no center post. The RSeat Evo replicates what you would be accustomed to in your daily driver or something you may take to the track. It can accommodate drivers from 4'11" up to over 6'6" tall and is pre-drilled for all of the major wheel manufacturers on the market today. When it comes to performance, look no further than the RSeat Evo V3. Check out the RSeat Evo and other sim racing equipment by heading to www.rseat.net.
Take your hobby to the next level with a quality racing rig that works great with a PS3, Xbox 360, and a PC. GT Omega Racing Simulator is compatible with a wide range of steering wheels including Logitech, Fanatec, Thrustmaster, and more. The GT Omega is available now worldwide by going to www.gtomegaracing.com.
The T500 RS wheel and pedal set from Thrustmaster, officially licensed by Sony in Gran Turismo 5 and designed for the most die-hard racing fans. It has unmatched power and precision, it's backlash-free, and totally responsive. With this wheel and pedal set, users will go farther than ever before in their racing experience. To find out where to purchase the T500 RS, visit www.thrustmaster.com.
All right, well, I was just checking in with split number 2, and they're going to finish under caution now. Ted Severance took a restart with 3 laps to go, and looks like a caution came out, and Ted Severance is going to take the second split. So congratulations to Ted, but back to this one, I think we might have an interview or two, guys, aren't we? Don't we?
Coming home in position number 4 here this evening is car number 2, or truck number 2, the 2011 NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship champion, Ray Alfalla. Ray, I know you wanted a little more out of a 4th place finish, but let's go back and talk about the incident that took you out of contention for the lead, that had you coming from behind, you and Byron getting together, and that safer barrier getting in the way too.
Yeah, I mean, who put that wall there? I was up front, and I get close to to the wall in turn 1 every single lap, and I guess I come within a few inches every time, and I just got it that time, and it sucked me right into it, and then the safer barrier sticks out there, and I couldn't stay off of it, and I hate that I got Byron involved, and I think Alex got involved or something, so took out the top 3 trucks, and it's just a bad deal. I've had that happen to me maybe once or twice ever in practice, never in a race, but just another one for the memory bank.
And a fantastic battle that you and Byron had at the end. We had pitcher and pitcher going on those last couple of laps of you and Byron going at it while we watched guys running out of fuel at the front of the field. Talk about the battle between you and the 91.
Yeah, we were trying to draft and work together a little bit because we thought Simon would be the one who would make it. We didn't think anybody up there could make it. So we were trying to catch up to him and following Brandon's draft, and I think at the very end, we figured we might as well just race for it. But we tried to work together after I pretty much ruined his race.
Now let's talk about the oval side a little bit. We'll preview Tuesday night at Las Vegas. Can you go 2 for 2 since you won last week at Chicagoland?
Yeah, I think so. I'm taking the same Chicago setup over there, so it should be good. I haven't done many laps yet, so from here to Tuesday we'll see where we stand.
Before we let you go, who makes it happen for the 2 team?
Yeah, I want to thank Pro Geek Consulting and everybody here, everybody who organized this event. It's a pretty cool deal. It was fun racing, and I hope they do many more of these.
That's Ray Alfalla, the 2011 NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship champion, coming home in position number 4 here this afternoon for the ISR SSCA March on Michigan 300. Sean Cole has caught up with Byron Daley.
I'm here with Byron Daley. Byron, you had a great run today. You want to take us a little bit through your run?
Yeah, it was a great race. It was a lot of fun. We started up front, just decided to ride the first few laps. We tried to see if we can separate ourselves. I was working with Ray, and I thought we could separate ourselves from the rest of the field. Didn't turn out to work, so we started battling a bit. Unfortunately, Ray got the safer barrier there. I was actually trying to follow his line to learn to get a little closer to that wall, and he got a little too close there, but it's all good. It's all in fun. And then we had a really good restart on lap 64 and made up like all those positions we lost and got hit under caution and lost them all again. So it was a back and forth race. It was a lot of fun.
And how was your truck after that contact with Ray?
The truck was it was okay handling wise, but after you have any sort of damage at all, you just lose all straightaway speed, and it's like you have a parachute. So I beat guys in the corners hands down, and then they just draft right back by me, and it made for a frustrating time passing people. But all in all, it wasn't too terribly bad. I just needed to be in that lead draft at the end there.
All right. So who makes it happen for you there, Byron? Anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, I want to thank MattDRacing.com, Matt DiBenedetto, if anyone's looking to sponsor up-and-coming driver. That's the guy. And just, you guys at Inside Sim Racing for putting this race on. It was a lot of fun. Can't wait to do the next one.
Great. Thank you very much. And last question for you, Byron. Did you have a good time today?
Yes, I did. It was a lot of fun. A lot of green flag laps. We had a few cautions. And it was a great race. I enjoyed it.
Well, thank you very much, and great run there. We were watching you doing some great racing out there today.
Thank you.
Now I'm going to hand it over to Darren Gangi, who I believe has Kenny Humpy.
Kenny, what happened to you there, bud? Great run. Ran out of fuel, huh?
Yeah, we came up just a little bit short there. I figured we'd get a few more yellows there at the end, but it just didn't happen, and kind of ran out of gas there.
Yeah, we thought you were going to take it, and then we started doing some calculations, and we went back and looked, and you had gone in at about lap 93. So Alex Chambrone peeled off, went for fuel, and then we started really wondering what was going on. And sorry to see you didn't make it, bud.
No, it's all good. I had tons of fun. It was an awesome event. Kind of had trouble there at the beginning. Had to start from pit road, but made my way up there pretty good. And I don't know, the race was going great, and then I just didn't stop for fuel there at the end, but it was a ton of fun.
Right on, Kenny. We're really glad that you could make it, and glad you had fun. Who makes it happen for you, bud?
The guys over at NRT Game Servers, they've been with me for a while now. They do a lot for me, so got to thank them guys. Of course, you guys inside SimRacing.tv for putting the whole thing together. It was a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys do it again.
Yeah, we're definitely doing it again 3 more times, as a matter of fact. Tell those guys at NRT Servers I said hi. And speaking of make it happen, the guys that made it happen this race, first of all, I'd like to thank iRacing and PSR TV for this great broadcast. Tim Terry, awesome job in the booth as usual with my good buddy Sean Cole. I'd like to thank our sponsors, RSeat, GT Omega, Thrustmaster, NVIDIA, Tamiya, and SSCA. I'd like to thank them, and Ted Severance. I'd like to congratulate him again. He won that second split, but I'd like to thank Ted for all his help getting this all together. And yes, we definitely got more of these coming. 3 more for the year, as a matter of fact. 2 road races and 2 oval races, and we're going to do them every quarter. Next one's going to be in June. Glad you guys had a good time. Tim, why don't you take us out, bud?
And fantastic show put on by you guys and Inside Sim Racing. I can't wait for the next show to come on. And speaking about racing upcoming, want to check out the iRacing Grand Prix World Championship Series coming up in just a few hours' time. It's coming up in a matter of mere moments. Indianapolis, going to be a fun track coming up in a couple of days on Tuesday. It's the NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship happening at Las Vegas. You'll see Ray Alfalla, you'll see Byron Daley, and you'll see about 41 others go at it at Vegas. Who's going to gamble there? We'll find out on a Tuesday evening. And Mike Conti is the point leader in that series, all of 14 years of age. He's celebrating a birthday this week. He's going to turn 15. That's going to do it for us here on PSR TV. So for our whole crew, Ian Bushing, Darren Gangi, and Sean Cole, my name is Tim Terry, saying we will see you Tuesday night. We say, let's go racing with NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship. Keep the hammer down, and we'll see you at the track.